DC and Maitri.
State partner Government of Uttarakhand, impact partners Adani Power and Adani Port and Logistics, education partner Atlas Skill Tech University, out-of-home partner Lakshya Media Group, and gifting partner Gumti. Thank you to all of you and indeed to our sponsors as well. We begin our afternoon with a series of leadership dialogues featuring some of India's most respected voices from business and finance. These conversations will explore the ideas, strategies, and decisions defining the next generation of leadership.
We begin with a leader who has played an instrumental role in shaping corporate affairs, public policy engagement, and responsible business practices in one of the world's leading consumer companies. Please welcome Mr. Prasanna Mohile, National Head, Corporate Affairs and Executive Board Member, Pernod Ricard India, for a special address.
A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is a privilege to be part of the NDTV Profit Business Leadership Awards, the India Growth Edition. And to reflect on one of the most compelling economic stories of our time, India's rise. In a volatile global economy, India stands out for the purpose, consistency, and confidence of its growth. A young and aspirational population, the Viksit Bharat vision, continued reform momentum, stronger infrastructure, digital public goods, and an improving ease of doing business are together creating a powerful foundation for long-term, broad-based progress. What makes India's story especially powerful is its resilience. Even as global markets have faced uncertainty and shifting consumer sentiments, India has continued to demonstrate confidence in domestic demand and momentum in investment. This resilience is built on the depth of India's consumption base and the confidence of millions of young Indians entering the workforce, building businesses, and shaping new categories of consumption. For Pernod Ricard, India is not just another market. It is a strategic priority, a true growth engine, and a market that is increasingly shaping our global thinking. Our journey is closely linked to India's economic ascent, and we see our role as contributing meaningfully through long-term investment, local manufacturing, employment, sustainability, and responsible business practices. We are here to build enduring capabilities, resilient supply chains, Indian talent, partnerships, and community linkages that remain aligned with the priorities of the country we operate in. Today, India is Pernod Ricard's second largest market globally by value and its largest by volume. This is not only a scale story, it is a strategic story. Strong demographics, rising purchasing power, and evolving lifestyle choices are making India one of the most important growth markets for the global alcohol industry. According to IWSR, the Indian alcohol sector is expected to reach around $64 billion by 2030, and India is helping redefine our global expansion strategy. One of the most important shifts shaping our strategy is premiumization. India's consumer story is no longer only about aspirations. It is increasingly about discernment. Consumers are asking where products come from, how they are made, what they stand for, and whether brands reflect their own values. For companies like ours, this means growth must be built on quality, craft, authenticity, responsibility, and deeper consumer trust. Our portfolio reflects this changing consumer landscape with a strong focus on premium and super premium brands. At the same time, we are investing in local innovation designed specifically for Indian consumers. Our Nasik unit develops products tailored to Indian tastes while drawing on global expertise. And brands such as a single malt longitude 77 and the exclamation range reflects a broader ambition to build world-class spirits in India, for India, and increasingly for the world. For over 3 decades, Pernod Ricard India has grown alongside India's consumers, witnessing firsthand the shift from product-led choices to aspirational-led consumption. Beyond brands and innovation, our commitment to India is visible in the scale of our manufacturing and investment footprint. We are strongly aligned with the Make in India vision and operate multiple manufacturing facilities across the country. For us, local manufacturing is not only about capacity, it is about building capability, strengthening supply chain, and creating shared value across the ecosystem. Our commitment to India is also reflected in how we think about innovation. Innovation today extends beyond product development to quality assurance, packaging, consumer experiences, technology-led engagement, and responsible brand building. The objective is to anticipate evolving consumer expectations and build brands and capabilities that can stay relevant over time. In Nagpur, recently we have announced a 200 million euros investment to set up a largest malt maturation facility in the region. It will strengthen domestic production, build a robust local supply chain, and enable us to source thousands of tons of barley from local farmers. In many ways, it is a clear example of how business strategy, policy priorities, and local economic development can come together. The true strength of local manufacturing lies not just in producing closer to the consumer, but in building capabilities around the product. With more than 95% of our Indian portfolio produced locally, our investment strengthens supply chain resilience and support future growth in a sustainable way. This is how Make in India becomes more than a production slogan. It becomes an ecosystem strategy. The broader economic contribution of Pernod Ricard India is multi-layered. As per the recent study done by the FTI Consulting, our total contribution to GDP is estimated at around 43,300 crores, including direct, indirect, and induced impacts. For a sector often viewed narrowly, this underlines the wider role the industry can play in national growth, employment, agriculture, and manufacturing. The same FTI study estimates that Pernod Ricard India supports over 9 lakh jobs across India, of which nearly 6 lakhs are linked to agriculture. Our ecosystem spans agriculture, manufacturing, logistics, retail, and services, demonstrating how a responsible business can create value beyond its direct operations. However, economic impact is only one part of the story. For a company of our scale, sustainability and social responsibility are not peripheral commitments. They are core to our license to operate and to our long-term business model. Our CSR initiative spans 22 states and have touched 3.6 million lives. We run STEM scholarships for girls and differently able students. While our healthcare and water access initiatives reach close to 90,000 beneficiaries, for us, these commitments reflect a simple belief: inclusive growth must create pathways for people who are often unrepresented in opportunity. By supporting girls in STEM, enabling differently able students, and strengthening access to basic healthcare and water, we are investing in the human infrastructure that allows communities to participate more fully in India's growth story. These are not standalone initiatives, my friends. They are part of our commitment to grow with the communities around us. As India pursues the Vikasit Bharat vision, I believe responsible business have a critical role to play. Growth must be sustainable, inclusive, and responsible. It cannot be measured only in financial terms. It must also be measured by the strength of ecosystem we help build, the quality of opportunities we enable, and the trust we earn with consumers, communities, and government. The Prime Minister's framework of 3T, talent, training, and transformation, provides a powerful lens for thinking about India's future. For us, sustainable leadership is built through consistency, patience, and continuous reinvention. Long-term trust cannot be built overnight. It requires a disciplined execution, quality at scale, meaningful innovation, responsible engagement with consumers, and the humility to keep evolving with society. At Panorica, we are proud to contribute to this journey through investment, local manufacturing, sustainability, and social welfare. India is central to our global ambition, and our commitment to the country is long-term and strategic. We see our role as a responsible partner in India's progress, supporting farmers and suppliers, enabling employment, building premium Indian brands, and advancing responsible consumption. The opportunity before us is not only to grow with India, but to help shape a more inclusive, sustainable, and trusted growth model for our industry. Ultimately, when India grows, we grow with it. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Mr. Prasanna. Our next session brings together an exceptional panel representing investing, manufacturing, and strategy leaders who have built enduring institutions while navigating an increasingly dynamic global economy.
Please join me in welcoming on stage Mr. Anish Shah, the Group Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of Mahindra Group; Jayant Sinha, the President of the Everstone Group, visiting Professor LSE, former MOS Finance and Civil Aviation; Ramesh Damani, who is a veteran investor and member BSc; Vivek Prasad, Chief Commercial Officer PwC India. The session will be moderated by our colleague Nisha Poddar. Over to you, Nisha.
Hello and welcome, and to a distinguished panel over here, and I intend to draw upon the expertise that they have so that it's inspiring for all of us as well as we celebrate leadership, as we celebrate business acumen. We have to also look at it not just as a promoter profit or a shareholder value, but it's actually nation building. That's something that we are celebrating here today at NDTV Profits Business Leadership Award and 2026. Now, when we talk about that, we are faced with an unusual situation at the current moment, and that is something that needs navigation, that needs a lot of excellence in leadership as well as business acumen, and I will try to pick on those particular aspects really coming out. Let me begin with Anish Shah. Anish, you lead a large conglomerate which has many sectors. And of course, cyclical nature of businesses as well as challenges have been part and parcel of the business. How can Indian businesses really demonstrate that resilience and nimble-footedness at a time like today when we are really weighed in by so many external factors to still create value for the country?
So Nisha, I'd look at a few key aspects. One is clarity of strategy. Where are we playing? Why are we playing there? Second, the ability to execute. And third is, most importantly, the people behind it. Resilience comes from actions you take to build resilience. It comes from creating a business that has a very strong right to win and a structure that makes sense in the context that it is in. It may be a cost structure, it may be how you deliver, it may be the supply chain that you have. All of those aspects go into building resilience for a business. If that resilience is built, it allows us to navigate through tough times. The second aspect is ability to execute, and the challenge I often see with everyone is them very well. And the most important part I come to is people. How do we create a culture where there is empowerment, where every person can speak up and talk about what's important for the company so that you get a better decision overall rather than following the leader. I always tell people that you know much more than I do because you're the experts in that area. So don't rely on me to make all decisions or don't rely on other leaders to make all decisions. Let's have a discussion. Let's get different views. How do we groom that talent? How do we take them out of their comfort zone, allow them to do bigger things? And these are the combination of things that really matter: strategy, execution, and people.
That's right. And I would say that a lot of people may have ideas, but execution is where the real success really lies. And of course, ears to the ground, the people working on the ground can sometimes give better ideas. Ramesh Damani, in terms of leadership and resilience, you have seen a few decades of cycles of the market. Right now, we are in a little bit of a nervous situation because of the crude dynamics that's really playing out. What will be in your summation, the way to really tide over difficult times like this? You have really seen it many times.
Thank you so much for first having me in this award, Nisha. Your very young reporter asked me before I came here about a similar question. And what I told her is that I don't understand the challenges of the millennial and Gen Z. Obviously, there are challenges of jobs and opportunities. But I think most of us on this panel belong to what we call the midnight generation, who came of age in the early 80s, late 80s in India. And we are what I call the lucky generation in India. Because what happened after we were bloodied, the Berlin Wall fell, liberalization happened, globalization happened, and those powerful tailwinds took us from 1,000 on the Sensex to over 80,000 today. So we are part of the lucky generation, and I think we are used to volatility. A lot of bad things happened also between 1990 and 2025. The Babri Masjid happened, global financial crisis happened, everything happened. So we've learned over time that markets are a volatile beast, and you need the right temperament to remain invested in the market. I think which is what life has taught me. So I'm not swayed or assuaged by this 2-3 years sideways movement in the market. I think it's as good a time to invest. I think look at when you're going to retire, what the index will be rather than what it is over the next quarter or the next 6 months.
All right. So having a long-term view and yes, all right. So that's the advice coming in from Ramesh Damani. Vivek Prasad, you have insights into a lot of sectors and a lot of companies. How is the industry really gearing up to take up the challenge of a very different world currently?
No, thank you, Nisha, for that question. And I would say yes, and the first two questions also in some sense resonate, that these are times where there are going to be different challenges and different opportunities in the same breath. I would say, while it's very important for, some of us or some of the teams to be focused on the here and now so that, we're delivering, just as Anish said, delivering on and executing on a plan, but more importantly, also keeping an eye on some of the changes that's going to come through. So how do we be nimble in terms of anticipating some of the changes that will come through and start building, I would say, capabilities and capacity to address some of those challenges. The other thing also extremely important is, having the organizational backing to know that some of those things that you would actually get into may not pay off, because this is something that you're planning for. And that's extremely important when you start thinking of things forward.
All right, so many takeaways there, but Jayant Sinha, you know, you are a very good combination of how the government operates and how the business and the investment side really operates. At this point, how challenging is this particular instance for the government, and how have policy decisions and government's proactiveness really helped the country in keeping that leadership position?
Thank you very much, Nisha, and wonderful to be on this very eminent panel. Let me, to answer your question, build on what Ramesh was saying. For a long time, the mega forces to which policy, investment, and business priorities were set to were around globalization, liberalization, technology. But now the mega forces have flipped. We are dealing with a different set of mega forces. We are dealing with a situation where supply chains are fragmenting, deglobalization is happening. We're dealing with an age of disruption where technology, particularly artificial intelligence, is changing the way things are set up and the way businesses are operating. We are handling a situation where the demographics now are in a mode where populations are declining, workforces are declining, and that's a very different set of priorities. And finally, of course, climate change, particularly for India, is a very major issue as well. So the mega forces are changing, and as I've learned as an investor, and as a policymaker, it's all about the macro. It's all about the big forces, the big structural drivers that are affecting an economy, that are affecting a large business group. So as a policymaker or as an investor, you have to be very mindful of these big mega forces, these big investment trends, and you have to catch the wave. Because if you're on the wrong side of the disruption, for example, if you take AI, part of the reason today India is a little bit being not considered as attractive a destination as it was by global investors, because most people are saying that India today, with respect to technology, with respect to AI, is not well positioned. So we have to make sure, and many of these big mega forces that are operating, climate change is another good example, are actually very predictable. You can look at it and say 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now, these same forces will be operating. We can say that about climate change, we can say that about AI, we can say that about demographics, we can say that about resilience and supply chains. All of these forces are going to be operating 10 or 15 years from now also. And so the question as a policymaker is, have we positioned the country well relative to these forces? Have we positioned our investments well relative to these forces? Are our companies, our business groups, are they well positioned? And that's the perspective that's very important for all of us.
That's right, and many disruptions is what our industry has really faced. Anisha, do you think that the companies have been able to take up the disruption channel well? I know in one large sector, at least in auto, the ICE companies have come at par with EV, or in some categories surpassed them. In artificial intelligence, IT is really... So you look at several sectors. As an industry leader, how will you assess the way the disruption and the ability to deal with disruption to stay relevant has been demonstrated by corporate India?
I'd give reasonably high marks to corporate India so far. I think we have dealt with disruption well. We've seen many challenges. We did some work to understand what were all the disruptions that took place over the last 126 years. In the 1900s, there was a disruption every decade. 20 years after that, there was a disruption every 3 to 4 years. As we were preparing a chart, we ran out of space after 2020 because there were disruptions every 3 to 4 months. And corporate India has to deal with that. Even as we look at the current situation over the last few months, I think India has dealt with it very well, and corporate India is well positioned. We have companies today that are making products that can go global and be very competitive globally. We have companies that are investing a lot more in R&D. We have companies that are beating global companies on their home turf and in India for certain. So given that, I feel very good about where India stands today.
All right, so disruption taken well, and that's reflective in the market also. Ramesh, you will also agree with me that suddenly our renewable energy strategy, the alternate fuel, as well as the new economy stocks suddenly started gaining momentum. How do you you assess leadership in a particular sector in terms of dealing with the disruptions, and how much do you ascribe to the founder, promoter, and the management with this particular skill set while investing as an ace investor?
Yeah, thanks again, Nisha. I think Jayant is right. Obviously, we participate in the globalized world, and picks were different. I think the day Trump was elected, the world changed on its axis. So we have a different world, supply chain, deglobalization, national security. All these are the forefront. But as a very famous ice hockey player once said in an interview, Wayne Gretzky, he said, you don't want to go where the puck is, you want to go where the puck is going to be. And I think as investors, that's our job. We need to figure out where the puck is going. And the themes raised by Jayantji is very, very important. We need to look at critical mineral supplies, rare earth supplies, climate change beneficiaries. I think that's my job as an investor, try and figure that out. But given India's demographic, which is still good, given India's robust economy with so many sectors to participate on, I'm very hopeful that investors can find the great promising sectors for the next 20 years. They may not be in technology and they may not be in the sectors that have benefited us so much, but maybe anti-AI sectors and real estate will do well. So I think there are plenty of opportunities. That's the good news.
That's right. And, Jayant, you mentioned about that particular aspect and the various disruptions taking place. How do you see the Atmanirbharta and less reliance on the global resources and having our own independent resources? How are we stacked when it comes to that and India's leadership there? Because we have got a taste of depending for fuel for the global resources, and we have been hit hard because of that.
You're exactly right, Nisha, that there are certain areas in the economy which are quite vulnerable. The famous joke, I'll tell you, Nisha, when I was in the Ministry of Finance used to be that India's finance minister is actually the monsoon. And that has changed. India's finance minister, of course, the honorable finance minister is coming later today. But a lot of people, particularly global investors, believe and jokingly say India's finance minister is actually oil prices. Right? And so that is a real vulnerability for us, because if we have to build resilience, if we have to build sustained growth and durable prosperity, we have to reduce our vulnerability to some of these key inputs. Fossil fuels are right on top of that list. Yes. Right? Second, of course, is what we are importing from China right now because of China's manufacturing capabilities. I'm sure Anish will have some views on that as well. So we have to do what we need to do in terms of resilience. To get to Atmanirbharta, we have to invest massively in renewables and in electric vehicles, because that is what will build our resilience, that will enable us to diversify away from fossil fuels. And we have to do it in such a way, which is, of course, a real challenge for us. We have to do it in such a way that we can be globally competitive with China and, to an extent, the US, not just today, but for the foreseeable future, which means the next 10, 15, 20 years as well. And unfortunately, if you look at some of the other big automotive producing regions of the world, whether it is Europe or Japan or even Korea for that matter, they took some of their eye off the wheel, if you will. And right now, the Chinese, in fact, as far as automotives are concerned, EVs are concerned, have played that disruption brilliantly well and are now super competitive. So even as we try to reach for that resilience, for that Atmanirbharta, we have to do it in a way understanding that we have to compete globally and we have to be ahead of the competition.
Right, compete globally, and you mentioned about fossil fuel and staying away from that. But given the present scenario, I would say that another noise and another category of opinion is really getting created, that if we have 25 years of life cycle for these thermal power units and we need more and more energy in our own domestic consumption, for our domestic consumption, why not use that? So I'll leave that particular controversial topic for another time. But looking at this, Anisha, supply chain disruption, that is impacting sectors all across. Can there be a collaborative measure by both government as well as the industry leaders to tackle this immediate situation?
Nisha, there are various collaborative measures. If we take rare earths, for example, given the crisis we went through, the government has actually come up with a policy for rare earths where they're getting the supply of heavy rare earths as well as light rare earths. And they've actually given a significant set of incentives for companies in India to manufacture permanent magnets. And 26 companies have applied for that right now. So that is a clear answer to a potential problem we saw. In addition to that, there are many other areas where the government has come out with a specific set of policies to make us more competitive, in some cases with subsidies in the short term, which is required, and in some cases policies that will make us better and more competitive.
Right. And, because of these situations, Vivek, your sector actually is, immune to what vagaries of different factors really impact the business cycles. Because you tend to have opportunity on both the sides. If rupee is depreciating, currency hedging mechanism comes into play. If fuel is not available, another kind of advisory work really comes in. At the current moment, what is it that we are really seeing, and how do you differentiate in your market interface the companies which are the winners and losers in tackling changing environment effectively?
Thank you, Nisha. And I think I would actually just resonate some of the things which have already been spoken out here. I think there's a lot of opportunity. There is, macroeconomic, certainty. Yes, there are challenges in terms of whether it's fuel, whether it's some of the other essential ingredients which are required. But I think companies which can build those resilient supply chains, companies which can actually look at some future a little bit ahead and plan for those are the ones which are best equipped to respond to those. And again, there are opportunities, as you said, on both sides in helping these organizations, get to the finish line.
All right, making opportunities in adversity is also one of the acumen. But Ramesh, looking at the present environment, attracting foreign inflows is very, very critical for the Indian economy. How do you see the scenario, and in your mindset, how critical is it for India to keep its leadership position when it comes to the capital markets as well?
It is, and unfortunately it's been taken a back seat, as you correctly point out. Particularly FDI investment in India has moved away to the semiconductor, the AI, data centers. So India is lagging behind in those sectors. But we are fortunate we have a nice, strong, robust domestic economy. So that will pick up the slack itself. But I'm not kidding myself. We do need foreign investment. It's not that this country can go back to 8% growth without foreign investment. Yes. So we need to be more proactive, open the doors more, and have a better corporate governance. And I actually believe, Nisha, for whatever it's worth, that America has seen its peak, that the Dow is closest to its peak, and the rest of the world will start taking the leadership away from America over the next 5-10 years. This is not a thing that'll happen on a particular date, but if you look back at what happened in Great Britain in the Suez Canal crisis in the 50s, they finally decided they knew they weren't a world power. I think America one day is going to wake up and decide that it might be a nuclear power, but it's no longer the world power. The economic gravity is shifting to Asia. So I'm very hopeful that we will be a part of it in Asia.
All right. But we are fighting with several other countries who have that acumen, and they are all looking at the same FIIs and the foreign inflows to really pump up their economy.
They are, and I'm not kidding myself. China is far ahead of us. So let's get that straight.
All right. So speaking to several of the investors and experts, we did gather that there are two important aspects. First, the economic macro situation, which right now has put us in a backseat because of crude. And the second one is the artificial intelligence aspect. So these are the two areas where probably we'll have to scale up much more. But Jayant Sinha, you had mentioned artificial intelligence, and you're also associated with the private equity side. As much important is FII, FDI has also been equally more important. FDI we have got in several of the unlisted companies, private sector, and they have made huge amount of profit from our capital market transactions by way of IPO. How do you see the investor mindset at the current moment? What more can be done to really attract more dollars?
So Nisha, those are exactly the right questions. Let me first of all lay out the math. Currently, our domestic savings rate is about 30%. Our investment rate is about 30%. For us to grow faster, we have to invest more. If we have to get to 8 or 9% growth, which is really what is required at this stage, some estimates are, given our incremental capital output ratio, that we should be investing 40% of GDP. 40% of GDP, which effectively means another 10% of GDP, that is $400 billion more. Now, we are investing our domestic savings already, 30% investment rate. Now, where will that additional $400 billion to turbocharge our growth, turbocharge our investment come from? It has to come from global capital. So the global capital that we need at this stage is quite substantial and super important for us to really grow faster and to make the necessary investments in areas like artificial intelligence. Again, let me lay out the maths there. Today, the Mag 7 alone are investing $1 trillion a year in artificial intelligence, in data centers and so on. By some accounts, China is investing $200 billion a year or more in artificial intelligence, data centers and the associated, of course, energy systems and everything else that goes with that. How much is India investing in AI right now? As best as I can tell, it's about $5 billion a year. Now, if we have to be competitive in AI, we have to massively increase our investments, and we need global capital to be able to do that. Now, we all know that global capital will only come if the returns are there. So it's actually not even a capital problem. It is a hard currency, cash-on-cash returns problem, which means if I put $100 into India, I need to be able to take $300, $400 out in a few years. That's when I get a cash-on-cash return. So the capital will flow out of India. That is absolutely fine. That demonstrates the maturity of our capital markets. But we have to also attract a lot of capital and generate those attractive returns for the capital to come in. That's the only way we get the investment flywheel to work.
All right, so that is a critical challenge for our economy because our infrastructure, which is a cash guzzling segment as well, we managed to get collaboration from our diplomatic channels already, and at least that is helping, but AI also needs. Anish, you also lead an IT company, and of course, there is a lot of competition, and there is a lot of pressure from the shareholder community in order to perform on the AI front. How critical is it, and where are we, and how easily doable is it by the IT services company, or will it need more collaboration with AI capability companies?
So the one thing, Nisha, that we always talk about in AI is the investments, as Janji mentioned. But the investments go into the infrastructure layer, the chips layer, the energy layer.
Yes.
The layer that really isn't talked about a whole lot is applications. Because if applications don't work, the rest of it is immaterial.
Yes.
And India will lead in applications.
Yes, I've heard that. Yeah.
Because that's where the strength comes in. And it's not just the IT services company, it's all the operating companies in India as well.
Yes.
We are doing a tremendous amount and seeing significant benefits on the application layer. And we haven't talked about it much, and I think a number of other companies are doing well, haven't talked about it either. But this is one area where we will see India stand out, and
All
that
right.
doesn't require a lot of investment.
And that has not been discovered, and I would also add the physical AI bit also is something where we can have capability like the KPOs and BPOs of erstwhile times. But maybe we will, perform better than expected estimates and maybe gain the benefit in future. But Vivek, when we talk about leadership across all sectors, we all know that getting there is easier than staying there. And that is also relevant in each of our personal growth journeys, as well as the companies which go to a certain level and find it difficult there. What is your sense overall when it comes to the leadership mantra on that particular aspect?
Thank you, Nisha. And I mean, at the cost of sounding a little bit philosophical, I would actually say that there would be three things in my mind. First and foremost, honesty. And what I mean by that is, acknowledging that we may not have all the answers, something that Anish also alluded to right in the beginning. And we are much better together as opposed to going it alone. The second thing I would say is humility, and having that EQ as opposed to just IQ. Because in today's world, people work for people, and people leave organizations or join organizations because of the people around. And last and not the least, I would say hunger. Hunger to be driven by the organizational purpose, because that's something which will really keep not only the organization, but the people, motivated to go after it. So I would say those three are really fundamental.
Very beautifully put. And final word, and 30 seconds, Ramesh, I can give you. Winning mantra when it comes to the investment thesis that has worked for you.
Well, that's an easy answer. Thank you for the easy question at the end. I think what has worked is stay invested, remain bullish, and let your money compound. I think compounding is the eighth wonder of the world, and people don't understand that. The longevity of the return makes extraordinary amounts of money. I mean, just to finish up the example, when I was a student, Berkshire Hathaway was $75 a share.
Yes.
Today it's $750,000 a share.
Yes.
So had I not gone to school and put my tuition fees into the Berkshire share, I'd be worth $750 million today, not $75,000 the only she put. That's thanks to compounding.
Right.
And that's the trick to good investment also.
Right.
Compound your money, let it grow for a long time, remain bullish.
All right, great advice. And my biggest two-bit to end this is that old principles, no matter how changed the environment, still last. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for all the insights. And I hope the audience also enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you to the patient audience as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Nisha.
Thank you.
Thank you to the panelists. Ramesh Damani and the rest of the panel known for their wisdom. Ramesh Damani talking about the value of Berkshire Hathaway shares. And he gave you a quote about where the puck will be. Well, there's another quote, right? The wisdom of retrospect is flawless. Who knew? And there are so many other decisions that can come through like that. But it was a fantastic panel. I'd like to ask you all to give them a huge round of applause, please. And we'll now move on to the next. All right, so once again, thank you to all of the panelists for leading us through that lovely session.
We now move to our next leadership dialogue with a banker who has redefined financial inclusion and built one of India's most admired banking institutions. Please welcome Mr. Sanjay Agarwal, founder, managing director, CEO of AU Small Finance Bank. In conversation with him is managing editor, NDTV Profit, Tamanna Inamdar. Let's give them a warm round of applause, please, everybody.
Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, there we are. I'm told I don't often need a mic. I'm quite loud, but we have to check that this one's working. Welcome, everyone. Very excited about this conversation. Welcome, Mr. Agarwal, to NDTV Profit Business Leadership Awards.
Thank you so much.
We're so happy to have you here. Also because of the leadership that you have displayed in the entire way that you've crafted the journey of AU Small Finance Bank. Some of you may not know it, but Mr. Agarwal was in the Gen Z category when he founded the bank. That is
it the right word to tell now?
Sir, kabhi na kabhi hum sab Gen Z the. Nowadays we're getting in touch with those feelings. But
Correct.
you know, at 25, 26, to start the idea of a financial institution that has grown into a behemoth will soon
Correct.
become a universal bank. And you're a very different kind of banker, I should say, than the typical banker that India is used to seeing and celebrating, and investors are used to seeing and celebrating. And your journey has been celebrated as such. Let's dial back about 20 years ago to where the idea of financial inclusion started all the way back in Jaipur.
No, so thank you, Tamanna. And first of all, my congratulations, my best wishes for your first Business Leadership Award in New Leadership, and I hope this will be a super hit, one of the most sought awards in India. As far as I'm concerned, it's a 30-year story now. I started In 95, I had done my chartered accountancy from Jaipur, right? And that time, there was no, as such, a financial institution coming up or a banking institution coming up. Those were the days when there were 10, 12, industrial houses led NBFCs, If you remember, I'm not sure आप थे नहीं थे उस वक्त, but Gujarat Lease, Anagram Finance, Lloyd Finance, all were led by more industrial led houses, or some new banking license were given, like your HDFCs, ICCs of the world. And when I started my journey, I never meant that I will start some big business or were looking for some company or institution. It was more my livelihood mission that I want to stay in Jaipur, want to do something my own, and let me start something small so that I can have my peaceful life. So there was no mission or vision that time. Idea was to be a well-being guy in Jaipur,
Journey has been exciting. I don't know, has it been peaceful?
No, yeah. But, I would say every 5 years, gave me a lot of hope from India as such, So first 5 years, it was learning from ground itself, how to lend, how to collect, how to build some kind of risk mindset. Then I partnered with HDFC Bank for 7-8 years, And then, Ramdev ji is sitting here. So I met him 2008. And I think Ramdev ji inspired me a lot to build an institution, honestly. He was the first guy, of course, Vishal also from that group. Both inspired me that you have the execution capability, you have the risk mindset, you are good enough in terms of, translating your action or your dreams into action, So why don't you build a company now, right? And I think 2008 onwards, we started building up NBFC, and 2014-15, we saw new guideline for bank, and I figured out that if I want to build a very sustainable institution, that has to be banking, right? Because I genuinely feel that NBFC has some ceiling, but banks can go forever. So 2015 applied, by chance we got the 17 license, and 10 years now, we are the largest SFB in the country. We got in principle license to become universal. So I think it can go and go on, but to be honest, I never planned in that way. I'm not a promoter or a founder of today's kind of where people plan everything, right? I think my idea always remain like a player, let's score first 20 runs, then look for another 20, then look for another 30, and then you make 100, you raise the bet. So, I think the idea was not to become a superhero or look for extraordinary things, Let's build it very small, enjoy every, success, whatever way and wherever, but look for 3-4 things very importantly. If you say, because we were talking back room that what made AU today what we are, is I think 3 principles that, and I'll say in Hindi so that we all can relate, that you have to become very, very samajhdar to hona hi padega. If you want to build some business in India, then you have to be samajhdar, You can't be fluke. You have to think about how you have to display your, samajhdari day in, day out. Then you have to be real zimmedar, accountable. If you're not accountable towards your all stakeholders, then, people won't take it seriously. And then you have to be very honest. Honest not in the sense of only money, everything, whether you carry yourself with a lot of honesty, and it has to be displayed also. Honesty in terms of your customer interactions, customer dealing, your regulators, the government, the tax authorities, your own employees, yourself, If you do all these things, I still believe that India has a lot of opportunity, to build any kind of scalable business.
So in your own scoring, have you hit that century or not?
No. Okay, so this is my first inning. This is my first inning, right? This is my first inning. I always believe that being a player, you have to have 2 innings in a match. So this is my first inning. I would, the day we become universal, I would say I will make 100 runs. but we make top 3 banks in the country in universal, category, then it will be double 100. So I think that's the milestone I have made myself.
और ये कहते हैं कि ये planning नहीं करता है. So the
No,
top.
it's not a planning. It's a dream. It's some kind of your own goal to achieve.
But any goal has to have a structured timeline with it. So when you're saying top 3 banks in the country, top 3 private banks in the country, by when do you see that happening?
2047.
2047,
Yeah.
in time with Viksit Bharat.
Viksit Bharat and Viksit AU.
Viksit Bharat and Viksit AU, all right. There we go. Before I move to a conversation about what's happening right now in the banking sector, the monsoons, etc., you talked about this journey and its various stages, from NBFC to small finance bank. Now you're on the verge of a universal banking license. What has been the biggest hurdle for you on a personal, professional basis where you thought that maybe I'm being too ambitious to grow? And the reason I ask this, because we're here to celebrate leadership.
Yeah.
Sometimes leadership is displayed when you push through at the toughest time.
So Tamanna, my sense around your ambition is this, that, you have to decide your ambition, right? If you know your capability, you know the capability of the platform, you know the India ecosystem, and then, because nothing will come easy, right? Because I generally feel that, people overestimate their capabilities, capacity, risk-taking mindset, their behavior pattern, and then they start complaining about the whole challenge around India story, right? Like, when we were NBFC, till 2016-17, it was quite evident from the business model that NBFC will have a ceiling. And there is no NBFC of 200-year-old in the world also. And you want to build a business which can last for 200 years, you have to get on that platform, right? But that platform will have its own cost. Like banking has its own cost. Banking is a public platform. I have my own expiry. So that was quite evident day one when we got the license, that I might not run the institution for 50 years, but I can build this institution for, forever kind of mindset, right? So I think you have to be very selective, or you have to be very smart enough to figure out the platform, the capacity, the capability, and then build your ambition around it. I actually don't believe that whatever we have not thought through, we haven't able to achieve it. But yes, personally, that might not be rewarding.
What was
the
biggest
challenge I will face now is this, that in next 6 years I'll not be the CEO of the company, and I'll be only 60 years, right? But that is there because you thought that you want to build a bank which can last forever. So I think you can't have both the choices or both the outcome and and enjoy everything, right? So
you've touched upon an important matter, because you've had an elevation to deputy CEO.
Yeah.
Is that the succession path that has been laid out? And I just want to press upon this bit. Having to let go of that position of a product that you have built right from the start, from a seed stage you have built it. Is that something that is bothering you?
No. If you ask me, no. Because, business has to be last beyond you. And I like banking platform because it's beyond me. And I genuinely believe that this is the most powerful platform the government of India and RBI has built over the years. I'm so fortunate that I got the license, and it's public good. And I believe that a private enterprise is supposed to build with more efficiency. And in that efficiency, we can make your money, is fine. But I think this platform is a magic, honestly, Tamanna. Once you run it, you know it. Like I'm from Rajasthan, right? And Rajasthan population is close to 8 crore. When I'd done a business there for 20 years, from 96 to 2016 as an NBFC. Maybe 10% people would be knowing me, right? But when we got the license in 17, by 20, every Rajasthani knows me. Living in Rajasthan or living in entire world, that Mr. Sanjay Agrawal runs a bank. So I think there's a power of platform is so huge that you can't go away with this that, okay, yaar, ye mujhe to, main to fas gaya iske andar, right? But that's the way it is, But you have to think beyond you. You have to think beyond your own personal gains. And that might hit you for some, maybe 2 mahina, 3 mahina, 6 mahina. But once you see this platform, running and more years, I think that joy will be immense. Yeah.
Any message for your Rajasthani bhaiyo or behno?
No, I think I'm very
proper language mein.
No, I know, but not for Rajasthan, for every Indian that we need to be mentally stronger. We need to be very realistic to the Indian society, Indian realities, because you can't talk about US or Europe, because you live in India. India has its own way to handle things. India has its own way to flow things, because that comparison is not, in my opinion, is right, because that gives you more frustration. Because I started believing that I can build JP Morgan, in next 30 years, which is very unlikely.
Does India need a JP Morgan?
India need more HDFCs, and we want to be like that, So I would say, again, it's so difficult to compare JP Morgan with Indian Bank because two different platforms. Like they are playing football, you are playing cricket. So there is no similar scores, right?
They're playing soccer.
Yeah. So how can you then judge the game, right? So in my opinion, we as an entrepreneur or everybody in India should respect India first, India challenges, India management, India social, right? So it's very different, right?
Tell me a little bit more about the succession plan. We spoke about how you are taking it, and I think that's a sign of leadership, that you want to build beyond your lifetime. But tell us a bit about how you see the bank being steered going forward.
Tamanna, I'm very blessed that people have really supported me over the years. So first data point, our top 50 people of bank are with the institution from last 15 years. So they're beyond bank term, right? So that's one thing, right? Second, as I'm very explicit in my leadership communication that I'm not there for permanent, right? And the best guy has to become CEO. And it's always good that if somebody from internal channel come and take the leadership position, that's my personal take. That is why, I know I have still 6 years or maybe 3 and 3 years with the blessing of the regulators. But we need to build a capability now only, because I have seen some banks missing, which is not a good case. Because
any bank specifically?
No.
To mind?
I think there's no need to tell anybody, any bank. Everybody knows it. But I think being a promoter, I should learn from that mistakes and should not think that it is my kursi, yaar. It's beyond me. So I think we are building it up, and I'm so happy that India has talent. You need to tell them that you have the capability. You have to take that mental strength to handle it, the top position. You have to be, again, a lot of ownership, a lot of honesty, accountability, and I think that is the way I'm building my team. So we want to have around 2 EDs, 2 deputy CEOs, group heads, So there will be around 20 people available in next 10 years who can run this business for next 30, 40 years.
So no one identified as of now?
I think it's a group of people because everybody has to show their caliber over the years, right? Somebody has shown, somebody will come, So it's an even base, right? It's not a particular choice or there's a game on, right? We need 20 players. Raise your hand, perform, take the seat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting times at the bank and seeing the next journey coming in.
Yeah.
Just want to get your take as a banker. And we have some data to go on with these quarterly results, etc. The banking sector seems to have done well in India relatively.
Yeah.
Are you concerned about macroeconomic factors like the monsoon, the geopolitical crisis, what's going to happen to small and medium enterprises, and the asset quality of banks?
So I'll tell you one story. So I think that story will have the answer. 2017, when we got the license in 15. 16 we have demonetization. 17, 18 we had GST implementation. 18 we have one cooperative bank got bust. 19 we got, sorry, 18 NBFC crisis. 19 we got one cooperative big bank bust. 21 private sector got bust. 20 we have mother of all COVID. 21 we have Ukraine. 22 we have high inflation. 24 we have Iran, Iraq. So there is no perfect world. So we are running a bank and our balance sheet has grown 20 times in last 10 years. So you keep complaining about everything, but you have to go and execute, right?
That is true,
So
sir,
I'm
but-
just sharing. There would be a West Asia crisis, but you have to see beyond that. There is a challenge around monsoon.
Is it a bigger challenge? Is monsoon a bigger challenge than West Asia crisis in your eyes as a banker?
If you see, yes, because monsoon affects more of your, regional or rural people, which actually hits your sentiment, and then overall there is a kind of mayusi in the country, right? West Asia crisis may hit some sector, and can have the, government is putting so much of, guarantees and support, so that can be overcome. But monsoon has more in terms of sentiment, so that's one thing. But I'll tell you, the Q1 of this year has been one of the fantastic quarter, of last 10 years, because generally we do 16-70% business in first quarter. This time we have done 20%.
And this is a seasonally weak quarter otherwise.
But this time it remains so strong. So I'm saying sometime, I'm not able to understand कि हो कैसे रहा है यार. मतलब हर जगह तो अपन बोल रहे हैं ये मत खरीदो, तेल के भाव बढ़े हुए हैं ये वो, but suddenly the numbers are very different, right? So that's why I'm said that, if you see the business in 10-year horizon, you look very happy and satisfied. And if you want to look business quarter to quarter, which most of the people see, then things are very difficult.
Yeah. We have run out of time, but thank you, Mr. Sanjay
Thank you
Agarwal,
so
for a
much.
fantastic conversation.
Yes.
This is a true Indian businessman who has really started with complete push and conviction in what he has to do and move from strength to strength. We wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Tamanna,
Thank you.
and wish you the awards. Thank you so much. Pleasure.
We take a picture, please.
May I request, I know he's going to hate it, but Mr. Ramdev Agarwal, since you spoke about an early backer of the bank, sir, you must join us in this picture. He's going to absolutely kill me for this. But, the fact is that when you start a business, you need those one or two people who have faith in you. And then we look at it when it's actually becoming successful. But boss is boss. Mr. Agarwal, just one message for the journey that you have seen, with him, and you have seen him right from the start. Just one message on that.
Yeah, I think India's story is the most compounded story. We are the fastest growing, and India has produced the maximum number of multi-baggers in the stock market. I'm only concerned about the stock market, and I want to make money. When he walked into my office, I could see that this guy can make money for himself and me.
ऐसे देख के कैसे पता चलता है?
वो पता चलता है.
ये तो आई है.
So I think.
But that's not true. Boss is not about capital market. He loves businesses. He loves businesses. He loves entrepreneurs. He loves scaling up. He loves India. I think रामदेव जी अभी गलत बोल रहे हैं. He's a capital market आदमी नहीं है. वो आपकी टीवी पे बोल रहे हैं. He's a guy who loves businesses.
And loves India. Fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for that impromptu conversation. Quick picture if we can. Yes?
Thank you, Mrs. Sanjay Agarwal. Thank you, Tamanna.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now be breaking for networking and for refreshments, but request you to be back here at 3:45 sharp. It's a very, very short break. We'd like to kick things off at the right moment because we're running on a very, very tight schedule and there's lots and lots of awards to give out today. I'm sure you're as excited as I am.
See you soon.
See you soon.
India's first multidisciplinary university, a state-of-the-art campus right in the heart of Mumbai. Design comes alive at ISD. Businesses are built at ISME. Technology gets engineered at UGDX. And advocacy takes the floor at the School of Law. High-tech facilities, highly industry-focused, real-world learning. Founded by a leading educator, Dr. Indu Shahani. And now, introducing Atlas Online, with an online MBA, BBA, and AI native management. Atlas Skilltech University, shaping the leaders of tomorrow.
At NDTV Profits, every day is a new day, buzzing with news, information, analysis. A lot of it. That is why we separate the news that is urgent and important for you from what is not. News that influences outcomes across markets, policy, and the corridors of power. At 6 p.m., we turn our attention to the critical conversations that matter. I'm Vikram Oza, bringing you the big question, Monday to Thursday at 6 p.m.
Your first move sets the day. And in markets, being early is the edge. The edge begins the night before.
Before India wakes up, the newsroom is already buzzing because the market rewards those who are prepared.
That's where we come in, tracking momentum and where the markets could move next.
I decode the global pulse, shaping the market mood.
I bring insights that help you make decisions that matter.
Insight by insight, call by call. That's how we give you a head start to the day's trade.
So get ready with us every morning before the opening bell on India Market Open.
Markets often have other plans. By midday, the story can be very different. That's when the right insights helps you rethink the day. Trades, trends, the moves that matter. Join me, Nisha Poddar, for Markets at 12, your edge for every move.
The news, Ayush. Since when do we do scripts? Fair point. Picture this. The biggest stage. Floodlights. Wow. 4K, the works. Where's the hook? There's going to be celebrities and guaranteed eyeballs. Where's the hook? Think about this. Front page advertisements and hoardings. Bro, where's the hook? Cross-platform, digital first, virality. Without a hook, no way. The message is clear. It's 2026. You gotta be real in a world of reels. You gotta be original in a world where everything seems generated. That's it. That's what we're looking for. The best campaigns, the hottest trends, the smartest brand moves on our new show. But wait, what do we call it? The hook.
The Lal Street is in a state of constant churn, unpredictable, unmissable.
It's a roller coaster here.
Stocks rise, correct. Breakout, fall.
We spot the ones that matter to you early.
For you, stay ahead of the curve. Sharp calls, no clutter. Just what you need to know. Trending stocks with us.
Monday to Friday, 12:30 p.m.
From a PwC standpoint, we actually set up criterion for each of the categories that we discussed with NDTV. A criterion was set up. Different KPIs were adopted for different categories. These are, of course, discussed, internally. We challenged ourselves, etc., and we made sure that the data sources were all very robust, so that the trust could be built in. So I think that's what defined, and of course, we eventually went through the jury process, and I'm glad the KPIs, if I may call it so, for the winners were ratified by the jury. In some ways, that's a ratification of the choice that we made.
India's first multidisciplinary university, a state-of-the-art campus right in the heart of Mumbai. Design comes alive at ISD. Businesses are built at ISME. Technology gets engineered at UGDX. And advocacy takes the floor at the School of Law. High-tech facilities, highly industry-focused, real-world learning. Founded by a leading educator, Dr. Indu Shahani. And now, introducing Atlas Online, with an online MBA, BBA and AI native management. Atlas Skill Tech University, shaping the leaders of tomorrow.
India is transforming, and at the heart of this progress is AU Small Finance Bank, India's largest small finance bank, a Fortune India 500 company and a pioneer in redefining banking. A first-generation entrepreneur and a merit-holder chartered accountant, Mr. Sanjay Agrawal is the driving force behind AU Small Finance Bank. He envisioned a forever bank that creates consistent, long-term value and drives AU's pursuit of excellence. Founded in 1996 from the hinterlands of Rajasthan, AU began its lending business as an NBFC, transforming eventually into a pan-India small finance bank in 2017. Offering comprehensive banking solutions and steering a course aligned to India's vision of Viksit Bharat 2047. With a complete range of banking solutions across premium banking, wealth management, and tailored business solutions to MSME segments, the bank is poised to serve all the sections of the society. AU is not just building a bank, we are forging a legacy of trust, innovation, and inclusive progress.
I got to learn a lot because, to just get a point of view as to how different jury members were looking at various participants, and the rigor that they brought in to the whole process, I thought was astonishing. Not only was there a lot of trust element in on who they chose, but also that they had consistently delivered on it. They had thought about change, they had thought about resilience in their own businesses. So the soft factors that they eventually chose the winners with is something that stood out for me. In fact, when we were actually doing the work, if there was a governance concern on any of the nominees, they were struck down. Or if there was something which was potentially in the grey zone, the jury was notified of it, etc., etc. In many cases, the jury themselves, very knowledgeable jury, themselves were very, very aware of some of those situations.
बाबा केदार के दर्शन के बाद मेरे मुंह से अनायास निकला था कि इस शताब्दी का तीसरा दशक उत्तराखंड का दशक होगा।
विकास, विरासत और सांस्कृतिक संरक्षण के मजबूत संकल्प के साथ डबल इंजन की सरकार ने उत्तराखंड को प्रगति की न सिर्फ नई पहचान दी है, बल्कि तय किया है युवा सोच, आधुनिक परिवेश, नवाचार और अनंत उपलब्धि।
through a rigorous and independent evaluation process, combining quantitative performance with qualitative assessment of leadership, governance, innovation, and long-term impact with the support of our knowledge partner, PwC India.
And behind these awards is an eminent jury comprising some of India's most respected names from business, finance, and public policy. Let's meet the NDTV Profit Business Leadership Awards 2026 jury.
Excellence measured by those who built it. Presenting the jury of the NDTV Business Leadership Awards. Sunil Bharti Mittal, Chairman of the jury, Founder and Chairman, Bharti Enterprises. Noel Naval Tata, Chairman, Tata Trusts. Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, Chairperson, Biocon Group. Ramesh Damani, Value Investor and member of BSE. UK Sinha, former Chairman SEBI. Jayant Sinha, President, Everstone Group, former Minister of State, Finance and Civil Aviation. Cyril Shroff, Managing Partner, Cyril Amarchand Mangaldas. C.S. Sethi, Chairperson SBI. NDTV Business Leadership Awards, honoring excellence.
A huge round of applause for our excellent jury. We will be interacting with them through the course of this evening. We also want to draw your attention to this beautiful new trophy for NDTV Profit Business Leadership Awards by designer Mr. Mukul Goyal.
Two bronze blades, distinct yet interdependent, rise in a dynamic duet. The texture is layered and rough, revealing depth and a sculptural quality. Their forms are ambiguous, yet suggestive of flames or leaves or wings, adding a metaphorical layer. In motion, they describe the mathematical symbol of infinity. Excellence continuously approached, yet not arrived at.
And that's exactly what defines a leader. Someone who is constantly striving towards excellence. And to talk about the very definition of leadership and much more, ladies and gentlemen, it is now our privilege to invite to the stage NDTV CEO and Editor-in-Chief Rahul Kanwar to set forth our editorial vision for the awards. Rahul.
Our chief guest, Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharamanji, distinguished members of our jury, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and a warm welcome to the NDTV Profit Business Leadership Awards 2026. We are honored by the presence of our chief guest, the Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharamanji, who's made the effort of coming all the way from Delhi to Mumbai on a weekend. Thank you, ma'am, for taking out time. At a time when the global economy is being reshaped by political conflict, technological disruption, and the shifting trade relationships, the partnership between public policy and entrepreneurial ambition has never been more important. Ma'am, your presence here this evening is a reminder of that partnership. At NDTV Profit, we analyze markets, businesses, and economic policy every day. Yet, behind every result is a leadership decision, and behind every successful enterprise, the courage to choose conviction over comfort and invest in tomorrow. That is why these awards matter. They honor financial success and the leadership that creates lasting value. When these awards were first instituted 20 years ago, way back in 2006, India was a $940 billion economy. Today, we are a $4.15 trillion economy, more than 4 times larger and one of the principal engines of global growth. Yet, India's growth is only part of the story. The greater challenge is how demanding leadership has become. Across the world, business leaders are navigating an era where uncertainty has become the norm. Geopolitical conflict has redrawn trade routes, tariff tensions continue to reshape supply chains, artificial intelligence is transforming industries faster than any technological revolution in history. Making and leading a business today feels like navigating rough seas in pitch darkness. It is not enough to steer through towering waves. You are constantly scanning the horizon for unseen icebergs, knowing that the greatest risks are often the ones you cannot see. The leaders we honor tonight have shown that true leadership is tested not by growth alone, but by choices made in uncertain times. The idea of a new India, however, cannot be measured just by the scale of what we build, but also by our willingness to question what needs to change. The recent Gen Z student protests showed a generation prepared to speak out and ask for their right to be heard. The resolution that followed showed that voices raised collectively can lead to dialogue and resolution. A new India must ensure that there is always room to raise a voice, ask difficult questions, and demand answers without getting branded as being anti-national. It is within that larger idea of progress, one that values both achievement and accountability, that we recognize leadership this evening. But recognizing excellence is no simple task. Guided by the evaluation framework developed by our knowledge partners, PwC India, our distinguished jury undertook a rigorous and considered assessment. The jury was chaired by Mr. Sunil Bharti Mittal. Among the jury members present with us this evening are Mr. Noel Tata, Mr. UK Sinha, Ramesh Damani, Shri Jayan Sinha, and Cyril Shroff. Thank you for taking out time. Thank you for your wisdom, your leadership, and for your invaluable contribution to these awards. Growth alone is never good enough. Leadership, governance, innovation, long-term value creation. These are the qualities that define our winners tonight. To every nominee, my congratulations. Being counted amongst India's most distinguished business leaders is a remarkable achievement in it. And to tonight's winners, many congratulations. Behind your success lies the ability to read complexity with clarity, face uncertainty with confidence and courage, and pursue politics and possibility which others were hesitant to see. Your leadership reminds us that Indian enterprise is moving from responding to global change to influencing its direction. If the last 2 decades were about India's economic rise, the next 2 will be about India's global leadership. Tonight, the awards celebrate achievement, but their larger significance lies in the future. They recognize the leaders whose decisions will shape India's economic destiny and its influence on the world. On behalf of everyone at NDTV Profit, congratulations to all the nominees and winners. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for powering India's economy. And thank you for strengthening India's belief in itself. Congratulations, enjoy the evening, and welcome once again to the NDTV Profit Business Leadership Awards 2026. And with that, may I request our chief guest, the Honorable Finance Minister, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, to join us on stage and deliver her keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a warm round of applause, please?
Namaskar and good evening to all of you. An evening that celebrates the India story. Actually, it is in truth an evening that celebrates its contributors. It celebrates the entrepreneurs who take risks, the workers who build, the innovators who imagine, and the households whose aspirations power everything else. I congratulate each of tonight's awardees. Your real achievement is the confidence and strength you have added to our nation. And let me say at the outset, what kind of celebration this is. In our tradition, celebration is not complacency. We celebrate the way a climber pauses at a ridge. We take in how far we have come, and we fix our eyes on the ascent that remains. India's story today is one of resilience, collective effort, youthful energy, agile policy making, as circumstances change, and the immense hard work of 140 crore Indians. India's entry, or as India enters, the second half of 2026 as the fastest growing major economy in the world, and just as importantly, as one of the most balanced. India's growth momentum remains broad-based and resilient despite external challenges. Various economic indicators such as the PMI indices, export orders, GST collections, e-way bill generation, electricity demand, digital payments, vehicle and tractor sales, all of them remain healthy. They point to sustained growth, sustained strength also in consumption, investment, manufacturing, and formal economic activity. The credit truly goes to the hard-working people of our country. While the government has played its small part as an enabler, government, of course, has ensured, I'll group them all together on 5 broad categories. When I say government has played its role as an enabler, the 5 categories are where I'm putting all the steps taken by us. A regulatory environment is the first that trusts its citizens and enterprises. Quality physical infrastructure is the second. Third is the international partnerships that opens doors. Macroeconomic stability is the fourth that lets everyone else plan. And finally, the fifth, sustained investment in our future generation. The first one, I'll just highlight some of the features. The regulatory environment. Under Honorable Prime Minister Modi's direction, we have been running one of the most systematic deregulation exercises in our country. It is driven from the very top in partnership with the states across identified areas of business regulation. Licenses and certificates now carry longer validity. Certification and third-party certifications are replacing the inspectors' visits. Routine business lapses are being decriminalized. The states have embraced this exercise with such enthusiasm that a second phase is already underway. Our conviction is simple. Regulation should be a guardrail, not a toll gate. And deregulation for us is a habit we intend to keep. I move to the second, quality physical infrastructure. Over a decade, this country has built at a pace it has never seen before or never before sustained. Highways, expressways, new airports, modernized ports, dedicated freight corridors, and under PM Gati Shakti, all of it is planned for the first time on a single integrated map rather than in departmental silos. There was a time when India or Indian enterprise competed despite India's infrastructure. Today, increasingly, it competes with confidence because of it. The binding constraint is no longer the road, the port, or the power line. The question now is how quickly enterprise will put them to work. The third is international partnerships that open doors. India has steadily expanded its economic partnerships over the past few years. Every agreement has been unique, and a recognition of the scale of our market, our economic potential, and the trust in capabilities of the Indian citizens. These agreements are for farmers whose products now have access to the developed world. They are for entrepreneurs, women-led MSMEs, garment exporters, leather and handicrafts with new competitiveness. They are for organic products and traditional wellness, such as Ayush systems. They are for talent young Indians, our students, IT professionals, chefs, yoga instructors, who now have choices and clear mobility pathways to work, to study, and to build futures, which are supported by post-study work visas, mobility, and social security relief. They are for digital services, powering the world's AI. They are for catalyzing investments. India has negotiated its economic partnerships with openness, balance, and our national priority of an Atmanirbhar Bharat. The fourth, macroeconomic stability, the quiet foundation beneath everything else. Stability is not the absence of shock. It is the capacity to absorb them. The commitment to fiscal prudence has been maintained even while absorbing extraordinary pressure. At the same time, there is no reduction in the quality of expenditure, which tilts towards capital investments. Banking sector is well capitalized, and the credit growth is healthy while supporting industry's needs. Fifth, sustained investment in for our future generation. Celebrating India's story is in many ways a celebration of the energy, aspirations, and achievements of our youth. Moreover, as we celebrate leadership today, I would also like to state that leadership is also about preparing the next generation to lead and to shape our future. Righteous leadership creates opportunities, builds capacities, and nurtures young people so that they can bring in a better era. The challenges faced by our youth are a concern for the entire government. That is why many of our policies are designed with their aspirations and their future in mind. First thing I did after presentation of this year's budget was to have a freewheeling conversation with young college students who came to Delhi from all regions of this country representing varied academic domains. This is the level of importance we place on our youth. In fact, many suggestions for the budget are invited through MyGov portal, where young minds contribute valuable ideas, several of which are then incorporated into the budget. Let me share an example. The budget announcement on the orange economy, that is the AVGC sector, animation, visual effects, gaming, and comics, originated from a suggestion made by a college student. Keeping Vikasit Bharat in mind, the government has made sustained and concrete efforts to empower young Indians by equipping them with skills, opportunities, confidence, and platforms they need to realize their potential and contribute meaningfully to the nation's progress. More than 12 lakh appointment letters to the central government, have been distributed through Rozgar Melas. These have conducted very fairly and transparently, and therefore everyone sees what opportunity is being provided to them. The government has provided 1 lakh crore rupees for the PM Vikasit Bharat Rozgar Yojana for creation of 3.5 crore new employment opportunities. And I've seen in different parts, particularly parts like Nagaland, Meghalaya, and other states within the mainland of the country, as it were, opportunities because of Vikasit Bharat Rozgar Yojana. More than 1.6 crore young people have received training under the PM Kaushal Vikas Yojana. Free training is provided through more than 200 employment-oriented courses across sectors. Under the PM Setu, 60,000 crores is being invested to modernize 1,000 industrial training institutes, the ITIs. We're also determined that the AI revolution will not be confined to our metros only. Under the India AI mission, data and AI labs are being set up in ITIs, polytechnics across Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities so that a young person in a smaller town has the same access to AI and skills coming out of it as one in a large city. 27 labs have been established through NELIT in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, while 543 additional labs have been approved in ITIs and polytechnics across the states and union territories. Through the PM Internship Program, which is a scheme, we are giving young Indians their first real exposure to enterprise with internships in the country's top 500 companies. It is a bridge between the classroom and the workplace so that a graduate enters the job market already familiar with ideas about the industry. Sports is also not left behind. Through Khelo India, more than 63,000 athletes have found a platform to showcase their ability, discovering talent in our villages, small towns, and remote regions that earlier went unnoticed. The National Sports Policy of 2025 aims to give our athletes modern facilities, sports science support, medical care, technology-based performance analysis, world-class coaching, and early international exposure. India's place in the world sport is changing. From participants to hosts, Ahmedabad will stage the 2030 Commonwealth Games, marking 100 years of the Commonwealth Games itself. 5 university townships will be developed near industrial corridors that will connect quality education, research, skills, employment opportunities with the industrial centers themselves. We also regard youth as job creators. The expansion of India's startup ecosystem has enabled young Indians to move beyond seeking employment and build enterprises that generate jobs for others. The number of recognized startups has increased from 350 in 2014 to 2.2 lakh today. These startups have created more than 23 lakh employment opportunities. 12 crore new entrepreneurs have received loans under the PM Mudra Yojana. The number of universities increased from 723 in 2014 to 1,340, while the number of colleges has increased from 36,600 to 52,000. Higher education enrollment increased from approximately 3 crore students in 2014 to more than 4.5 crores today, extending educational opportunities to a wider section of our society. So we ensure our students aspiring to be doctors are able to get admission in a medical college, especially near their hometowns. So more than 2,100 medical colleges are also operating in our country. Over the past 12 years, 1.30 lakh MBBS seats and 85,800 postgraduate medical seats have been added. Number of AIIMS, of course, I'm sure you're aware, has grown from 8 in 2014 to 23 today. So our students want a developed India, and we will build a developed India along with them, which will ultimately benefit them and the country. So just a few words on way forward. The partnership between government and industry has never been more important. Government can build roads, ports, policies, institutions, but it is enterprise that creates jobs, develops capabilities, takes risks, and transforms opportunity into prosperity. India must work much more closely with government and educational institutions so that curricula reflect changes in technologies, workplace practices, and also future skill requirements. Government will provide the enabling ecosystem. Industry must invest boldly in talent, in research, and in innovation so that India is not merely a participant in these sectors, but a global leader. AI transforms industries. One principle must remain non-negotiable. Humans must remain in the loop. AI should enhance human capability, not replace human judgment. So as infrastructure expands across country, industry has an opportunity to create quality employment in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. India's deepest asset is the strong, magnificent optimism of our young people. Our task, governments and industries alike, that is to be worthy of it. The India story is not written in New Delhi. It is written on shop floors and farms, in startups and research laboratories, in classrooms and in clinics, and also in corporate offices by people we honor tonight. So let's celebrate the India story in the only way it truly deserves, by writing its next chapter together on the road to Viksit Bharat by 2047. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman ji. Each time I come to Mumbai, I see how much excitement there is amongst those who move the money around Mumbai and who move Mumbai about being here to listen to the Finance Minister. I can guarantee you, Nirmala ji, that there is almost no other minister in the Union Cabinet for whom all these people sitting on the front row, going all the way till the end, would have come out to listen to on a Sunday afternoon. So that's the magnetism and the power of the Finance Minister. And thank you to all our guests for being here as well. And I was till yesterday deeply anxious about whether this would happen, not happen in the way that we planned. Please, ma'am, sit for a few minutes. Because there were massive protests going on at Jantar Mantar. The students were out in large numbers, all manner of things were being said. And I was concerned that if this continues, it will be very surreal to be talking about leadership awards, the road ahead, in the midst of such turbulence. Madam Finance Minister, you and the government would be very relieved with the fact that the student protest for the moment is over and you've been able to find some relief. Is it a massive moment of relief for you, ma'am?
More than relief, I think it's made us feel that we had to respond, and we responded to the voice of our youth, which is, I think, due for a responsible government. So it's just right that we responded.
You come from Jawaharlal Nehru University. You've seen student agitation growing up. You've seen, you've cooked for people who've been in Tihar jail when you were growing up. What did you make of the time when these young Gen Z protesters were out on the streets in Delhi, in Mumbai, across the country, and all manner of things were being said about the government which hadn't been said for the last 12 years? Did it catch you completely off guard?
Well, I'm not undermining the energy you're putting into this. But every generation, when young, joins protests. I'm not undermining what happened in the last couple of weeks. You rightly recalled that when I was in JNU, and I'm sure generations before me and generations after us will still do it. Young get very touched by things which are not ideal. They want good response, correct measures, timely measures, and that's only right. And therefore they tend to protest because they think They should make the difference, and I'm happy for it because that's the spirit of the young. I have no second opinion on that. But yet, the difference lies when you're ready to understand where they come from and respond accordingly. And therefore, I'm happy to say this is a legacy of every generation when it is young, and it happens in every country. I'm not undermining what has happened here. We have to keep our ears closer to the ground so that we hear what's going on, understand what's going on in time.
As is the case with every generation that has protested in the past, oftentimes those in power have been found to be slow in responding. Do you accept, Madam Finance Minister, the criticism that the government took way too long in acknowledging the enormity of the protest, the severity of the message that was being sent, and it took too long for this protest to be given the respect that it deserved and for the demands of the protesters to be heard?
1 minute, Rahul. Give the respect to the protest. We have not stopped them from protesting. The permission was given when they came. The person who came, Dipke, who had come, was given the permission even as he landed. We didn't try at any point in time to stop the protest at all. And therefore, I think equally, when things didn't go right at the first time when the exams were held and leak became public and it had to be acted upon, soon the government arrested those who had, bought and sold the papers and so on. It was the responsibility of the government, one, to arrest them, put them to a judicial process, but equally it was the responsibility of the government to make sure the re-examination happens in time. Students get their result in time so that their one whole year's calendar does not get affected. And I think that bit was, together with everybody, the Education Minister, Dharmendra Pradhan, handled that. And after having completed that re-examination process, announcing the results so that students don't lose a year, it's when then he took a call, wise call, that he will put in his papers. If he hadn't done that, meaning if the re-examination hadn't happened in time, it would have been irresponsible of everybody in the system. We had to do that for the students, and that was done.
Before I move on to other questions, how do you see the government and yourself respond to this Instagram reel, the meme, the Gen Z, the vocabulary of protest? How does communication and governance, in your view, change on the back of what we've seen in the past one? What's the message that's been registered with you and with those in government?
Now, how does it change is the question. But how are we going to change is the answer that I have to work. All of us will have to work. Because the communication in their language, meaning it's a language which I would think is easy for them to understand, not too much of a verbose language, not too much bureaucratic language. And therefore, it is important for government to see how far it can go in communicating in that language. Because when government speaks or government language is always subject to everything which is legal scrutiny. You can't say something which sounds ambiguous or light-hearted that you go, to the courts interpreting it. Government by itself has a limitation. Your language will have to be the language which will be tested in the courts. You really cannot, therefore, become so easy with your language and put yourself to question.
Ma'am, when we met after your union budget for this year, India was being described as being in the middle of a Goldilocks period, low inflation, high growth. After that, the West Asia war started. And a few days ago, we were thinking, okay, maybe the worst is behind us. A resolution has been agreed upon, and that things will get better from here. But with the kind of shelling that we're seeing, the kind of attacks that we're seeing, we're now again in a deep period of uncertainty. How is that impacting your budget numbers? How is that impacting India's growth for this year and your calculations and your estimates when you delivered the budget earlier?
First of all, normally I would have said inflation is getting imported because of the uncertainties in the Middle East, Hormuz, supply chain disruptions, particularly for those items which we import in huge bulk, fertilizers and so on. Now, fertilizers, when you're talking of urea, you're talking of DAP, you're talking of muriate of potash, you're also talking of things which go in the making of fertilizers, sulfur, there is suddenly a shortage of sulfur and so on. I would have said because of external factors, inflation. But also this year, there is an El Nino factor. The rains are happening excessively in some parts, scarcely in some others, not at all in somewhere else. The catchment areas are not receiving adequate rain. So water for irrigation and drinking, crops, all of them are also going to pose a bit of a challenge. And inflation, therefore, cannot be just imported. It's also our own want of rain and the monsoon being less than normal can also add to the inflation. Budget numbers, I don't think I need to reconsider as of now because there's been enough such funds created to meet with all these challenges which are happening, whether risk insurance premium going up and we have to support our oil containers or shipping lines which come in these war zone. We've made a provision, there's some resource kept aside for it. Similarly for oil, support for import at a higher price, for fertilizer for higher price, import but yet give it to the farmers at the same price since COVID. So all this, I have kept buffers which can take care of it. And therefore, at this stage, I don't think I'll look at my budget number for readjusting.
And finally, you made some reform on the debt side in terms of allowing foreign investors to come and buy bonds more easily than they would. What's your message to Mumbai at this moment? Because you've also been trying to get India Inc. to invest more in the India story, and it looked around the time of your budget that we're reaching this healthy sweet spot. I want to see this through before committing money. What's your message to Mumbai tonight?
Well, I think industry have started in investing. The numbers are improving. In fact, it's very encouraging to know that they are investing in sectors which are very critical to India's Atmanirbhar Vikasit Bharat. I would certainly invite industry to engage with the government and see if there are any points of concern or any further facilitation that would be needed. And I would only invite for greater engagement with the government.
I want to wrap up by telling you all something that when the finance minister came and I met her this afternoon, I was slightly concerned that she may have concerns about what is asked, what is not asked. But I must tell you that she said, ask what you want. Have I ever stopped you? And she lived up to that not once. Was she even slightly concerned about what was coming her way, and many curveballs came your way and you answered them as you always do with aplomb. Thank you very much, Finance Minister Sitharaman, for joining us here. Let's get on with the show and let's get on with the reason that has brought us to Mumbai, to this historic and iconic hotel, the Taj Colaba. Let's get on with the NDTV Profit Business Leadership Awards. Can I call my colleagues back on stage? Vedika, Ayush, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Rahul. If we could request you to stay on stage with us. All right, thank you for those inspiring and optimistic words, Madam Minister. We are going to now begin with the celebrations, the big awards this evening.
And may we also request our NDTV CEO and Editor-in-Chief Rahul Kanwal, Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman ji, and of course our esteemed jury member Mr. Noel Tata to join us on stage to kickstart the award celebrations.
Our first honor this evening recognizes an individual in the private sector whose leadership has transformed an enterprise into one of India's most admired global companies. This award celebrates vision, execution, resilience, and sustained value creation. And the nominees are:
The nominees for Business Leader of the Year are
Anisha, Mahindra Group; KN Radhakrishnan, TVS Motor; P. Venkatesulu, Trend. Inder T. Jaisinghani, Polycab India. Vinita Gupta, Lubin. Rajiv Bajaj, Bajaj Auto. Hisashi Takeuchi, Maruti Suzuki India. And S.N. Subramanian, Larsen and Toubro.
May we please request Honorable Finance Minister and Mr. Tata to reveal the Business Leader of the Year award.
Check. Business Leader of the Year, non-PSU, Dr. Anish Shah.
Under Dr. Shah's visionary leadership, the Mahindra Group has moved from strength to strength. It has delivered exponential growth in revenue and profitability. The annualized growth in M&M's net profit is a whopping 57%, and the Lal Street has taken notice. M&M's market cap has climbed 12x since April 2020. Can we have a huge round of applause for Mr. Anish Shah?
Dr. Shah, congratulations. Very well deserved. A brief message.
So, thank you, Honorable Finance Minister and the eminent jury. It is a huge honor to be here today. And I can say only that any leader is only as good as their team. And it is really the team at the Mahindra Group that has brought us a lot of success over many, many years. It's the values, the culture that has been built by the leaders over the decades. A special thanks to Mr. Anand Mahindra, who's given the empowerment, who's given the guidance and support along the way that has helped us scale greater heights. Special thanks to my parents, who always taught me that you can be anyone you want to be as long as you're rooted in values. To my wife, who taught me the importance of EQ, and that EQ is a lot more important than IQ in everything you do. My sons, from whom I understood that the only way to get control is to give up control. And to many others, mentors, family and friends along the way who helped me and our teams get to where we are today. Thank you again.
Thank you. Many congratulations. A warm round of applause, please. Thank you, sir.
Sir, if you could stay back for a token of our appreciation, Dr. Shah, for a moment. We have a small token of appreciation.
This is really heavy. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
A huge round of applause, please, to Dr. Anish Shah. Thank you, Anish. We now move on to our next category, Vedika. Artificial intelligence. AI is redefining every industry, from healthcare and finance to governance and education. Tonight, we honor an organization building AI for India and from India. They are the AI Champion of the Year. Here are the nominees.
The nominees for AI Champion of the Year are Sarvam, Nisa, Fractal, Cure.ai, Karya, Emergent.
Mr. Tata, can we please have you announce the winner for the AI Champion of the Year?
Hello?
It's working.
Hello. The AI Champion of the Year is Sarvam.
Accepting the award.
Dr. Vivek Raghavan.
Yes,
co-founder.
accepting the award on behalf of Sarvam is Dr. Vivek Raghavan, co-founder, Sarvam AI. Combining frontier AI with India's linguistic diversity, Sarvam AI is creating models designed for Indian users, businesses and public services. A bold vision for sovereign artificial intelligence built in India, for India, with the potential to serve the world.
Congratulations, Sarvam's really been the blue-eyed story of India's AI fight back, as it were, against the Americans, against the Chinese, and for finding a foothold. How confident are you that few years on, when we look back, AI would have made an impact on not just India, but globally? Are you, at this moment, fully confident that you'll go out and achieve the ambitions with which Sarvam was set up?
So, first of all, thank you, ma'am, and thank you to the jury for this honor. It really is an honor. And the truth is that AI is going to change everything, every business process, every governance process. And therefore, we must, as India, be able to actually be at the forefront of this, whether it's at the infrastructure layer, or whether it's at the model layer, or whether it's at the application layer. And we need to be a place where, we are controlling our own AI destiny. And it's not a question of, can we do it? We must do it. And therefore, I accept this honor with the young people, right? The young people who are in Sarvam, who believe that we can do this and we can be a leader not just in India, but in the world in AI.
In the success of companies like Sarvam lies the success of the India story itself.
I fully agree. In fact, the success of India's motivation for those who are not in the AI area is so much derived from the AI that you're hearing of and the kind of achievements that Indian young people are doing in a matter of couple of months each time. I remember, and I would want to fondly recall, that the budget speech, Sarvam approached the office and said, we are ready to have the budget speech telecast live at the same time in all Indian language in the FM's voice.
Wow.
And it was just going to be a lag of probably 30 seconds or something. The voice was so frighteningly mine, talking in Punjabi, Bengali, Telugu, any other language, and it was astonishing. My office didn't have the courage to say, right, go ahead, do it. Because, as I said some time ago, what if the translation happens to be a bit not the governmental language? So our people, the bureaucracy, got very worried and said, Sarvam may be ready to do it, ma'am, AI may be ready to do it, but we, and I wasn't surprised, after all, our bureaucracy, we'll have to be careful, so careful that it wouldn't happen. But still I appreciate Sarvam went ahead, had an understanding with Republic TV, I think. Oh, I'm not supposed to name. I'm not supposed to name the competitors here, right? Right. So they went ahead with making Republic do it in all the language. And I had wonderful reports saying, this is magic. So that's what our youngsters are doing, and we have to be ready for it.
What I said must be heard in all contexts, but thank you and congratulations.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think we haven't seen anything yet, and India can.
I must give you a token of appreciation.
Okay.
Thank you. That token of appreciation is heavy. You can do weights with it. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tata, for joining us and doing the honors. A huge round of applause, please.
Just one second. Before Mr. Tata leaves, I want to thank him for being here. Given how reclusive Mr. Noel Tata is, and all of us know that, I, on behalf of NDTV, want to truly appreciate his stewardship of our jury, the effort he himself and his office made for the kind of labor which was put on all the nominees. His contribution throughout has been exemplary. It just shows how much effort goes into everything Mr. Tata does, and that really, truly means a lot to all of us at NDTV for making that effort, Mr. Tata. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you yet again, sir. Huge round of applause, please, for Mr. Tata. I'd now like to call on stage none other than Mr. Cyril Shroff, Managing Partner of Cyril Amarchand Mangaldas, to join us on stage. And Prasanna Mohile, National Head Corporate Affairs and Executive Board Member, Pernod Ricard India, to give away the next few awards.
Our next category celebrates creators of India's digital economy who have transformed the way millions live, shop and do business. Here are the nominees.
Economy Leader of the Year are Eternal, BB Fintech, FSN E-Commerce Ventures, Nika, Car Trade Tech, Delivery.
May I please request the Honourable Finance Minister and Mr. Shroff and Mr. Moile to reveal the new Economy Leader of the Year.
New Economy Leader of the Year, Delivery. And accepting the award is Sahil, co-founder, Sarvam.
Sahil was in London, I think. He's come down specifically for this, making a special effort. So thank you and welcome. Congratulations.
A huge round of applause, please. India's e-commerce boom needed a backbone, a technology-first logistics platform. Delivery has built one of India's largest integrated supply chain networks, connecting businesses, consumers, and markets across the country. From warehouses and freight to express parcel and last mile delivery, the company has become a critical enabler of India's digital economy.
Sahil, you were really able to get delivered here just on time. It was very touch and go. He was in London, has made a special effort. Congratulations. A brief message.
No, thank you very much for having me in for the award. 110,000 people work at Delivery. About 60,000 of them are at work as I speak here. So I have the easy job and so the pleasurable job of being here. So on behalf of them, thank you very much.
Thank you and congratulations.
Keep the work going.
Sahil, just one second. Must give this token of No, it's heavy. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. We'll have it sent to you. Come.
You will have it delivered.
Yes, yes, we will. As the finance minister said, we will, Sahil, have it delivered.
Thank you, Mr. Mohile. Request Mr. Shroff to stay on with us. The next category is Wealth Creator of the Year, celebrating organizations that have created wealth consistently for investors while strengthening India's financial markets. The nominees are.
The nominees for Wealth Creator of the Year are BSE, Transformers and Rectifies India, MCX India, Himadri Speciality Chemical, Gallant Ispat, Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers, Newland Laboratories.
Mr. Shroff, can you please do the honors and reveal the Wealth Creator of the Year?
Wealth Creator of the Year, BSc. And accepting the award is Mr. S. Ramamurthy, MD and CEO of BSc.
A huge round of applause, please.
A pioneer that helped build India's capital markets, BSE stands testament to India's rising investor class. A facilitator to millions of retail investors, the exchange is constantly pushing the boundaries of cutting-edge financial technology. In the 3 years to March 2026, BSE's share price has risen at a compounded rate of 178%, and that's why it is the Wealth Creator of the Year.
BSE usually helps others create wealth. You've been doing a phenomenal job of creating wealth for yourself and your shareholders. Congratulations.
Let me clarify, it's for the shareholders and for the market as a whole. First of all, I would like to thank Honorable Finance Minister, the jury members and NDTV for this award for us. Wealth creation is actually value creation. As a responsible MII, our value creation lies in how we help capital formation for the country. Madam, we assure you we will continue to strive hard in our journey for that. I would like to dedicate this award to my employees, to the market participants who reposed faith in me for the comeback of BSE, the regulators who permitted a level playing field, to my shareholders, to my board members, and last but not the least, to my family. Thank you so much.
And congratulations. And ma'am, it's remarkable in many ways that the government's also trying to ensure that there are multiple players, multiple opportunity, multi-players. It's not getting concentrated. The more optionality there is, the better it is for the entire regulatory framework, for customers, for choice.
Absolutely. And we would encourage that kind of environment and ecosystem. And that's absolutely necessary and critical for the stage at which we are leading towards Viksit.
Congratulations, sir. Very well done.
Sir, may we request you stay back and accept a token of our appreciation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Shroff. May we call on stage Indu Shahani, founding president, Atlas Skill Tech University, to give away the next set of awards. The next category is Financial Powerhouse of the Year, non-PSU. This category awards a bank, NBFC, insurer, AMC, or financial institution that has shaped India's financial system and enabling economic expansion. And the nominees are...
The nominees for Financial Powerhouse of the Year are Shriram Finance, BSE, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, Cholamandalam Investment and Finance, Bajaj Finance, HDFC Bank.
Ma'am, could we request you to do the honors, please?
The Financial Powerhouse of the Year, non-PSU, Shriram Finance. And accepting the award is Parag Sharma, MD and CEO of Shriram Finance. Welcome.
For millions of truck owners, small businesses and borrowers beyond the reach of formal banking, Shriram Finance has been the backbone of India's underserved economy. It proves that capital strength and financial inclusion are not a trade-off.
Sir, many congratulations. He wants to get his photo first. Let's do the photo. Memorable opportunity to get this image, which can't absolutely under any circumstances be bought. Many congratulations, and your message to everyone after winning.
Thank you, jury. Thank you, FM, for the award. We are a 50-year-old, near 50-year-old company focused on rural and semi-urban India. We have more than 80,000 employees, largely in semi-urban and rural India, and most of our customers, close to 10 million customers in rural India. Continue to focus there and grow there.
Thank you very much, and many congratulations, sir. Just 1 second before you go.
A round of applause, please.
As always, we're making Rahul do the heavy lifting on stage.
Yes. So, the key also is to build a financial muscle like some of the winners. I think that's as important. But thank you.
Thank you, Vedika. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Hey, what's up?
Will you take this?
Yes, of course. I've also got a magic substitution. Hi, Alex. Good to have you on stage.
We're still following FIFA rules.
They keep fighting amongst themselves on who's a better football player.
I definitely am. It's just that he can run longer than I can.
And that's what matters in this magnificent event, the NDTV Profit Business Leadership Awards. And for our next award, may I request our jury member, Mr. UK Sinha, and NDTV Profit's Executive Editor, Corporate, Nisha Podar, to join us on stage, please. A huge round of applause for our presentation party.
Now, trailblazers don't simply build successful companies, they create entirely new categories, inspire industries, and redefine what's possible, Ayush.
And Alex, our next recipient has done exactly that, building one of India's most iconic consumer brands while inspiring countless entrepreneurs to dream bigger. Here are the nominees.
The nominees for Trailblazer of the Year are Gitanjali Kirloskar Systems, Roshni Nadar Malhotra, HCL Tech, Falguni Nair, Nykaa, Mallika Srinivasan, Tafe, Vibha Padalkar, HDFC Life, Prabha Narsimhan, Colgate-Palmolive India.
And could we have the result in this category, Madam Finance Minister? Mr. Sinha? Mr. Sinha, if you can.
The trailblazer for the year, Falguni Nair, founder and CEO, Nykaa.
Falguni Nair has led Nykaa through his journey from a promising startup into a publicly listed beauty and lifestyle leader. In the process, redefining how millions of Indians discover and shop for beauty. She didn't just build a company, she created a category, transformed a market, and inspired a new generation of entrepreneurs.
Falguni, many congratulations. You keep going and getting bigger and bigger and sustaining this magic. It's not just a startup magic, from a startup magic to a full-scale magic. The magic just goes on. Congratulations.
Thank you, Rahul. I just want to take a moment to thank everyone. I think it's an immense pleasure to receive the award at your hands, Honorable Finance Minister. Thank you, jury, an eminent jury, and thank you for bestowing this on me and the company. I think Nykaa has been a fantastic journey, and as many of you, all of you know, it's been one where both my children have joined me in the journey and allowing me to have a longer run than maybe I would have otherwise had. And also I'm supported by a fantastic team, and most important is, of course, the entire consumer and their love that we enjoy. And they actually, their energy and their aspirations inspire us every day to do more and more. And I've been a big believer in India. I'm a big believer in Indian, I think India is growing stronger, and Indian consumption should not be something, Indian consumption is growing stronger, and we should be proud of that, because we do need to provide better living standards to our people. So to me, it's been a journey where to see Indians aspire for more and being able to be a small part of fulfilling that ambition, their aspiration, has been an amazing journey. And thanks to everybody.
This must be a moment of extra pride for you, given how male-dominated most boardrooms are, to have a woman trailblazer who just goes from one milestone of success to the other. It's really good, not just for Nykaa, which of course it is, but also as an inspiration for young women across the country to say, if she can do it, so can I.
Without any doubt. And I've been watching the progress that Nykaa is making. Startups can sustain themselves and grow higher and higher. Cannot be proved by any other example than showcasing Nykaa. She's done so well. And of course, she's done so well as a woman as well. I normally hesitate to speak saying women should, women this, women that. But when women succeed, like the way you have done, I think you stand out, and therefore it'll be such an inspiration for so many different women who are still hesitating to come forward. Not that they don't have talent, not that they can't contribute, but they hesitate. Women should come over that hesitation.
Absolutely, and so many of our newsrooms at NDTV are run by extremely capable women editors. Tamanna Inamdar is sitting there, we got Nisha here. So big cheer to all the women in the house, and many congratulations for your leadership and for your success.
Thanks. I think Honorable FM has inspired me to say one more line that I say, that I think women hold half the sky, and they just do need to be confident about dreaming for themselves, and have that confidence that if they can dream for themselves, they will achieve it. So with that, and that's what my message to all the young girls and women of the nation, that please think for yourself, dream for yourself, and that's the message of Nykaa, let the spotlight of your life be on you. So with that, I'll hand over the mic.
For the moment, the spotlight is on you, ma'am, here.
Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. An inspiration not just to the women in the room and everybody watching at home, but to us as well. Nisha, thank you so much for joining us on stage. Mr. Sinha, if you can stay back with us. The next award honors philanthropic contribution by individuals and institutions delivering measurable and transformative impact across education, healthcare, climate action, civil society, and public welfare. The nominees demonstrate leadership beyond profit. They are
The nominees for Philanthropist of the Year are Kiran and Shivnadar, Azim Premji, Nandan and Rohini Nilakani, Nitin and Nikhil Kamath, Sushmita Bagchi.
What a stellar list. May we please request Mr. Sinha to reveal the Philanthropist of the Year.
Shivnadar.
Sir, check. Just check.
I'm repeating, Philanthropist of the Year, Kiran and Shivnadar.
A huge round of applause, please.
Mr. Nadar built one of India's most influential technology enterprises. And then the Nadar family dedicated their success to creating opportunities for generations to come. With one of the largest philanthropic contributions in the country, Shiv and Kiran Nadar have consistently invested in education, institution building, and the power of knowledge.
You know, what's most remarkable about Kiran is just how full of life and how determined to live life she is. You go to, say, Wimbledon, she'll be watching matches. You go to a big cricket match, she's watching matches. She was in the room with Kapil Dev the night before India won in 1983. Going back all that way, the passion, the joie de vivre is quite incredible. And also the desire, Mrs. Nadar, to give back to society. You know, there's so many who make money, but I think the Nadar Foundation, your entire family, always determined and committed to giving back to society, which I think is a very noble thing to do. Many congratulations in your message, ma'am.
Thank you, Rahul. I'd like to thank NDTV and especially Nirmala Sitharamanji, who I have great regard for, and to receive this award from her. I'm sorry Shiv is not here, but he is really the heart and brains from which this philanthropy effort started. It started with his mother telling him that this was in 1993-94, that you're doing well, you've built something, but don't you think you should do something more than just business? You must look at something. That's how the education inputs started. And so education is a major part of what we do, be it just in colleges, schools, but also in art and other spheres. So philanthropy is a great enabler of trying to put some equality between what we have and what we should be able to do for society as a whole. And I really wish he had been here with us today, but unfortunately he couldn't make it. I'd like to thank my daughter Roshni. She's carrying on this task, and Shikhar, my son-in-law, and also thank the rest of my family for all their contributions.
Thank you, ma'am, and congratulations. This is something, Madam Finance Minister, the more Indian corporates do, the better it is for everyone. You know, when you're going to a school or a university where those who run it are not seeking commercial returns, you know, that's when so much heart and soul goes into running that school or university well. And your message to all companies, I mean, everybody tries to do what they can, but to try and do it in a way that has the maximum impact in society. And education is a great way to get a high ROI.
Yes, absolutely. Education, particularly in far-flung areas where the government does its bit, but when it is done by private entrepreneurs, it has a lot of other essence of human life come into the whole enterprise. And as a result, you find children being very motivated to look at who's sponsoring the activity in the school, who are the people who are coming with new ideas, and that itself gives a new level of learning I think, therefore, it is very important, and I'll invite all Indian entrepreneurs to do something wherever they choose to do it.
You know, I also feel government has so many responsibilities that the private sector, where they can put in a hand and help put in some effort into education, would be great. And I would like all industrialists who are here to start looking at education.
You're such a patron of arts. I hope you like our lovely trophy. A lot of heart and soul went into putting it together. We wanted something which was so remarkable and so special that people would put it with pride in their drawing rooms or boardrooms in their offices. And I hope the top patron of Indian art approves.
I've got the second one from this. I do approve. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations.
Could we request you to stand for another picture, please?
Okay, just one.
Or, could we request another picture of all four of you? The photographers can't get enough of Mrs. Nadar's smile.
Ladies and gentlemen, a warm round of applause for Mrs. Kiran Nadar.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Nadar, and also thank you so much, Rahul and Mr. Sinha. Maybe call on stage now Tamanna Inamdar, who's managing editor at NDTV Profit, as well as Mr. Sanjay Agrawal, who's founder, managing director, and chief executive officer of EU Small Finance Bank, to join the finance minister on stage. Big round of applause, please. No, please stay with us, ma'am.
Alex, sustainability is no longer a corporate initiative. I think it's become a business imperative.
No, that's absolutely right. In fact, the organizations that will define tomorrow are those that are embedding environmental responsibility into every aspect of growth and innovation. These are the nominees for the NDTV Profit Green Champion of the Year.
The nominees for Green Champion of the Year are Lupin, Tech Mahindra, Godrej Consumer Products, Godrej Properties, First Source Solutions, Mahindra Group.
Mr. Agrawal, if you can do the honors, please.
So, the Green Champion of the Year, Godrej Properties.
And accepting the award on behalf of Godrej Properties, we have the chairperson of Godrej Industries Group, Mr. Nadir Godrej. A huge round of applause, please.
Many congratulations, Mr. Godrej. And, I think one of the important categories is the Green Champion, because of the reason that industry also has this responsibility. It's great testament that there are two Godrej Group companies on that list. Mr. Godrej, very congratulations, and just a few words that you might want to say.
Sustainability is very important, and I would like to thank Nirmala Sitharamanji and NDTV for this award, and I would encourage everyone to play a lot of importance on sustainability. Climate change is getting from worse to worse. It is no longer climate change in a tolerable range. Every day things get worse. We have floods, fires, drought. So we need to tackle all these problems. And in our group, my uncle Sorab was a very early pioneer of environmentalism. He also played a role in Save the Tiger and set up WWF in India, and we are carrying that torch forward, and all our employees are very concerned about sustainability, and they get excited when we work on that behalf, and I'm sure if we all do that, we can solve the world's problems. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Madam, we'll take a picture. Madam, I just want to get your thoughts on the responsibility that they have. For long, there has been a debate that India as a developing nation should focus first on growth and then on sustainability. Do you think that debate is now overdone?
Growth itself will be sustainable only when we respond to the changes in the climate. unless we are conscious of it and we do it, and we can't but be conscious. Look at the way in which our farmers are adjusting their cultivation calendars. Look at the way in which rain is playing havoc. In some areas, look at the cloudburst. India is seeing it in its fullest ferocity, the climate change, in different parts of the country. I come from the south. The sea coast is receding, meaning sea erosion is eating into our farmlands. So you can describe it in so many words. Growth cannot be sustained unless we attend to the climate emergency.
Thank you, ma'am.
May I say something?
Yes, of course, sir.
Yes. Also, when you take sustainability seriously, at first you think you may have to pay a price. But as long as you think hard and work hard, you actually save money while you're trying to become sustainable.
That's an excellent message there.
Can we have the memento, please? Tamanna, if you can do the honors.
Thank you, Mr. Godrej. What an absolute honor to have you here with us at this particular event. Yes, that does call for a huge round of applause, please. India's public sector enterprises continue to power strategic industries, strengthen national capabilities, and drive economic growth at scale, Alex.
This next award recognizes a leader whose vision and execution have elevated one of India's most important public sector undertakings. The nominees for Business Leader of the Year, PSU, are...
The nominees for Business Leader of the Year, PSU, are Captain Jagmohan, Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders, Manoj Jain, BEL, K. Sadashiv Murthy, BHEL, Gurdeep Singh, NTPC, and Arun Kumar Singh, ONGC.
And Mr. Agarwal, can we have the winner, please?
So the winner is the Business Leader of the Year, Captain Jagmohan, retired Managing Director, Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders. Captain Jagmohan.
The winner is Captain Jagmohan, Chairman and Managing Director of Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders. Under the leadership of Captain Jagmohan, Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders has combined operational excellence with exceptional financial performance, emerging as one of India's standout public sector success stories. This Navratna delivers complex defense platforms built with precision and consistency.
Captain Jagmohan, many, many congratulations. I think it's well known that your company is a darling of investors. We see that in the stock price, but it's also because of how beautifully it's run. What are your thoughts on receiving this award?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, NDTV Profit and the distinguished jury for this honor. I accept it on behalf of the entire Mazagon Dock family. Now, we are proud that we trace our origins back to 1774, making us the oldest company being represented here today. But we are even more proud that we have continuously evolved over the years, and today we make some of the world's most complex warships and submarines. MDL is always committed to the nation to improve and strengthen our maritime capabilities. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Would you like to say a few words about, what the defense space has done and companies like Mazagon have also done?
Yes, opening up the defense and space sector. These are two examples I'm giving, but there are others which we can always take on board based on the facts. But these two sectors have actually shown concrete difference in the last few years. Look at the way defense exports are increasing. We were the net importer, biggest net importers of defense equipments. Today, we are exporting substantially, and some of our shipbuilding yards are doing very well, and that's why they attract investment as well. Not just that, but I think they are treading onto areas which till now there was this inhibition in Indian public sector undertakings. Maybe we can't go in there, we don't have enough money for it, or the policy may not support. Today, with all the support being extended, you see them going forward at such speed that it makes the country proud. So I'm happy for Mazagon Docks. There are others as well. Space sector equally is performing so distinguishingly very well. So the policy to open up has actually brought entrepreneurial Indians out there to perform.
Okay, I'm getting a workout as well. I don't think I'm managing as well as Rahul with the bags, but I'm trying my best.
Well, thank you so much, Captain Jagmohan. Thank you, Mr. Agarwal, for joining us on stage. And with that, I'll also like to call on stage for our next set of awards, Shri Jayant Sinha and Mr. Vivek Prasad. And also, it's time for me to swap places and leave Alex on stage with my incredibly talented co-host Vedika Sood.
You can say that you got tired, it's fine.
So that Alex thinks he's the deepest baritone on stage. Thank you so much, guys.
Vedika, you want to compete with me?
No, but I think he's gone back.
No, let's jump straight
He's
into it.
gone
No, like,
backstage because he wants to go with the heavy weights a bit for a while.
All right, now, India's manufacturing story is entering a defining decade.
From semiconductors to advanced electronics, the nation is building capabilities that will shape the future of global supply chains. This award honors an organization leading India's journey towards technological self-reliance. The nominees for India's Atmanirbharta champion are...
The nominees for India's Atmanirbharta champion are ONGC, Tata Electronics, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, Dr. Reddy's Laboratories. Work hard.
And Mr. Jayant Sinha, if you can do the honors, sir.
The winner of the award for India's Atmanirbharta champion is Tata Electronics, and accepting the award today is Dr. Randhir Thakur, CEO and MD of Tata Electronics.
Tata Electronics is laying the foundation for India's semiconductor ecosystem, from fabrication and advanced packaging to building a complete domestic chip manufacturing value chain. One of the country's most ambitious industrial initiatives, it is helping advance India's vision of technological self-reliance and manufacturing leadership.
Many congratulations, sir. I just want to add that when we were drawing up the blueprint of these awards, we wanted to include this category of Atmanirbhar Champion, because this is exactly what the government has been pushing to do over the last several years, and we've seen this happening in so many categories. So, which is why, sir, as we wish you many congratulations, just want to get your thoughts on how we are forging ahead in a space in which till a few years ago, India didn't seem to have a chance.
Oh, thank you. And first of all, I want to humbly congratulate all of the other companies who were competing. Any one of them could have been here. So congratulations. We are a young company, and in the company I always say, one team, one dream, because electronics is a team sport. So on behalf of 90,000 employees of Tata Electronics, it's a privilege to receive this award. Thank you very much. I want to thank the jury, also NDTV, and it is a special meaning for us because to get it from Honorable Finance Minister. Not too long ago, just a few months ago, she was in one of our facilities in Jagi Road, Assam, to inspire us and also talk about how we can take advantage of ease of doing business. As she pointed out, the government and industry, the relationship at this point is very, very important. So we take all that very seriously, and thank you so much. I also want to highlight how proud we are because Atmanirbharta is really tied to Prime Minister Modi's vision for Viksit Bharat. And for us to be this young company and get recognized, it means the world to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Thakur. Strong financial institutions form the backbone of every growing economy.
And this next award recognizes an institution whose scale, resilience, and trust continues to shape India's financial system and economic expansion.
Absolutely. The nominees for the NDTV Profit Financial Powerhouse of the Year are...
The nominees for Financial Powerhouse of the Year PSU are Punjab National Bank, Indian Bank, Union Bank of India, Power Finance Corporation, Canara Bank, State Bank of India, Bank of Baroda.
Any guesses? Okay, I won't keep you in suspense. Mr. Sinha, if you can.
And the award for the Financial Powerhouse of the Year goes to Shri C.S. Sethi, Chairman, State Bank of India, who's here to accept the award.
With unmatched scale, sustained profitability, and a presence that in India is practically ubiquitous, State Bank of India continues to power India's growth story. More than a bank, it is a trusted partner to millions, supporting enterprise, enabling aspiration, and strengthening the country's financial foundation.
Well deserved. State Bank of India is, of course, the largest bank in this country, a powerhouse, and under Mr. Sethi's leadership has been going from strength to strength. We quiz him every quarter, and we have all of the answers that please the street. Sir, a few words, and you've got your team along as well.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, it's a great honor receiving from the Honorable FM, and thanks to the jury minus me, NDTV Profit, for recognizing the truly remarkable institution. I would like to quote, with her permission, FM once famously said, "This is the largest bank for the smallest person in the country." I think we live up to that every day through 245,000 of our employees and serving 530 million customers. And every day we acquire, mind you, we acquire 65 to 70,000 customers, new customer walking into our office. I think it is also a financial powerhouse, not necessarily that we serve the largest industrial houses sitting in this room. We fulfill the aspiration of every individual in the country. Whether a small entrepreneur, a small street vendor, to the largest corporations in the country, and in between, millions of small and micro enterprises. And we are very truly honored to be recognized for this award. Thank you very much. Thanks to the jury and NDTV.
Thank you so much. Can I request one more photograph, please, if you can all line up? We'll get the perfect shot. My first account was State Bank of India, and I still remember the account. Yes. Arey, nothing is there now. Thank you so much to Mr. Sethi, Mr. Sinha, and Tamanna. May I request you to take your seats, please? Thank you, Vivek, as well. Now, I'd like to welcome back on stage Rahul Kanwal, and to join him as well, we've got jury members Noel Tata and Ramesh Damani for our last award. If they can join us on stage, please. Now, the final award of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once in a while comes a leader who redefines business. They build institutions that endure, transform industries, and inspire generations of entrepreneurs.
Tonight's highest honor recognizes one such visionary whose entrepreneurial journey has reshaped India's pharmaceutical industry while placing Indian innovation firmly on the global map. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the screen.
For 4 decades, Dilip Shanghvi has transformed Sun Pharma into India's largest pharmaceutical company and one of the world's leading specialty generic drug makers. Through disciplined execution, bold global acquisitions, relentless investment in research, and a steadfast commitment to affordable healthcare, he has built an institution that serves millions of patients across more than 100 countries. His journey from Kolkata to the pinnacle of India Inc. is the stuff of corporate legend. Quiet in demeanor but extraordinary in impact, Dilip Shanghvi has redefined visionary leadership for a lifetime of entrepreneurial excellence and for building a globally admired Indian enterprise. Dilip Shanghvi is our India business icon.
The NDTV Profit India Business Icon Award is presented to Mr. Dilip Shanghvi, founder, Sun Pharmaceutical Industries. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Mr. Shanghvi a standing ovation.
Reveal a small secret. On the day that the jury met, this was meant to be the Lifetime Achievement Award. The winner was still the same, but the winner insisted that I have a long way to go still. I'm far from done. I am not coming if you're calling this the Lifetime Achievement Award. After all that you've done building Sun Pharma, one would imagine that you're now wanting to chill, look back, enjoy what you've done, enjoy the ride. But you're determined for the second chapter and for much further ahead. Many congratulations.
Thank you. No, thank you, FM, and I thank the jury. I received this on behalf of the entire Sun Pharma team. I think we've been fortunate that we are in a time where, as FM explained, I think the policies of the government have facilitated growth of the country. And we are an important receiver of the ease of doing business processes. I remember that in 97, 98, when we invested in our first international acquisition, getting $12 million took us almost 6 months. Recently, we announced an acquisition and we could raise $12 billion. And all what we had to do was to talk to RBI. They said that your request falls within the policy of the government and you don't need to do any additional efforts. So I think the changes which government is talking about are real and are benefiting, because I think if I look at in our case, almost 2/3 of our business is outside of India, and with this new acquisition, we will be at least having 1/6 of our turnover in spite of being the largest Indian pharma company from India, because the world is the market for us. And that's what we are focusing on. And I think, as Rahul said, I think we're just starting. We are a small company in global context. So we have a long, long way to go. A lot of innovations to bring to the market. So thank you very much for this.
Mr. Shanghvi speak is very inspiring, because just a couple of days ago I was talking to my wife about our retirement plans and where if we needed to move out of Delhi and be in some other city. But you're saying forget it, just go on and keep on going on and on. Many congratulations and well deserved. So Mr. Damani, the money markets of Mumbai, hang on and hold on to everything the finance minister says very carefully. What's your key? You heard the finance minister this evening. What's your key takeaway from the message that she carried?
Thank you. First, my congratulations, Ms. Shanghvi, for building a temple of modern India. Thank you, sir, for all the service you've done. For the finance minister, I mean, when she started, the longest serving finance minister in the country, when she started, index was, I think, 25,000 or something. It's 80,000 today. That itself is a tribute to how what a great job she's done in stewarding this country. Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Tata, what are you taking away from all that you heard from the Finance Minister?
I think there's a long way to go and a long road ahead for the country. And I think everybody is in an optimistic mood for the future.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Oh, yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shangri, and thank you so much, Mr. Tata and Mr. Damani. If you can make your way to your seats. Now, before we end, and we've had a great evening, it's not over yet, because it is our privilege to felicitate Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharamanji. Request Rahul to hand over the NDTV Profit Business Leadership Award to the Finance Minister.
It's a lovely trophy, and since she was so gracious in handing it out to all our winners and for making the special effort of coming to Mumbai after having worked a full week and for drawing this fabulous crowd over here, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, for your effort and for everything that you're doing for this country. Thank you very much. Here's Angel's trophy for you. It's such a lovely trophy, I thought she must have one for herself for sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam
Thank you so much,
Minister.
ma'am.
The Finance Minister has agreed after the awards, and there's a group photograph happening, to come and spend some time with all of those who are here. So we'll do that once the group photograph gets over. Yes.
Thank you, Rahul. And as this phenomenal evening comes to an end, I would invite on stage Tamanna, Managing Editor, NDTV Profit, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. What an extraordinary evening it has been. On behalf of everyone at NDTV Profit, the NDTV family, thank you for being part of this celebration of excellence, enterprise, and leadership. Our heartfelt congratulations once again to every award recipient. Your achievements remind us that enduring success is built not merely through ambition, but through integrity, innovation, and purpose. Through your vision and leadership, you are creating businesses that generate opportunity, inspire confidence, and contribute to India's remarkable growth story. We are deeply honored by the presence of our Honorable Chief Guest, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman. Ma'am, thank you for joining us and for sharing your invaluable insights. Through those conversations, we also learned how closely you're in touch with some of our winners today and how closely the government works with them. Our sincere gratitude also goes to our distinguished presenters, our esteemed jury, and our partners for lending their expertise, credibility, and support to these awards. Most importantly, we thank the leaders we have honored tonight. Your stories remind us that great companies are built not only on financial success, but on courage, resilience, and the willingness to create lasting value for society. As India charts its journey towards becoming a developed nation, it is leaders like you who will help shape a stronger, more confident, and more prosperous future. At NDTV Profit, we remain committed to telling stories that matter, stories of entrepreneurship, innovation, and leadership that defines economic journey. Thank you once again for joining us this evening. We wish you a continued success, and we look forward to welcoming you again next year. We're just getting started. Please join us for a group photograph. Thank you.
Everybody make your way to the stage. The winners and the jury members, please.
If everyone else can keep seated, the Finance Minister is going to come up and meet with the people who are here in just a couple of minutes, soon after the group photograph gets over. Mr. Tata, please come. Can we have a warm round of applause? Mrs. Sinha, please come. Mani, you can come here. Come here. Don't too far away. Come closer. Sir, can we just squeeze in closer? very big thank you to everyone who joined us here today. Can we have a warm round of applause for our fabulous presenters, Alex, Ayush, Vedika? They were superb. Thank you very much. And many, many congratulations. Thank you to our jury, Mr. Tata, Jayan Sinha, Mr. Damani, Mr. Sinha. All of you are fabulous, and for making this effort, thank you very much.
Thank
Madam
you, Rahul.
Finance Minister.
Thank you, Rahul. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us at the NDTV Profit Business Leadership Awards 2026. We would like to thank our partners, co-presented by AU Small Finance Bank, co-powered by Pernod Ricard India, knowledge partner PwC India, industry partner MIDC and Maitri, state partner Government of Uttarakhand, impact partners Adani Power, Adani Ports and Logistics, education partner Atlas Skill Tech University, out-of-home partner Laksha Media Group, and gifting partner Gumti, India's first curated living company. Please join us to raise a toast at the reception where we continue the celebrations with this year's winners and distinguished guests.
Have a wonderful evening and thank you for being with us today.
Good night and good luck.
India's first multidisciplinary university, a state-of-the-art campus right in the heart of Mumbai. Design comes alive at ISDI. Businesses are built at ISMI. Technology gets engineered at UGDX. And advocacy takes the floor at the School of Law. High-tech facilities, highly industry-focused, real-world learning. Founded by a leading educator, Dr. Indu Shahani. And now, introducing Atlas Online, with an online MBA, BBA, and AI native management. Atlas Skill Tech University, shaping the leaders of tomorrow.
India is transforming, and at the heart of this progress is AU Small Finance Bank, India's largest small finance bank, a Fortune India 500 company, and a pioneer in redefining banking. A first-generation entrepreneur and a merit-holder chartered accountant, Mr. Sanjay Agrawal is the driving force behind AU Small Finance Bank. He envisioned a forever bank that creates consistent, long-term value and drives AU's pursuit of excellence. Founded in 1996 from the hinterlands of Rajasthan, AU began its lending business as an NBFC, transforming eventually into a pan-India small finance bank in 2017. Offering comprehensive banking solutions and steering a course aligned to India's vision of Viksit Bharat 2047. With a complete range of banking solutions across premium banking, wealth management, and tailored business solutions to MSME segments, the bank is poised to serve all the sections of the society. AU is not just building a bank, we are forging a legacy of trust, innovation, and inclusive progress.
I got to learn a lot because, to just get a point of view as to how different jury members were looking at various participants, and the rigor that they brought in to the whole process, I thought was astonishing. Not only was there a lot of trust element in on who they chose, but also that they had consistently delivered on it. They had thought about change, they had thought about resilience in their own businesses. So the soft factors that they eventually chose the winners with is something that stood out for me. In fact, when we were actually doing the work, if there was a governance concern or any of the nominees, they were struck down. Or if there was something which was potentially in the grey zone, the jury was notified of it, etc., etc. In many cases, the jury themselves, very knowledgeable jury, themselves were very, very aware of some of those situations.
बाबा केदार के दर्शन के बाद मेरे मुंह से अनायास निकला था कि इस शताब्दी का तीसरा दशक उत्तराखंड का दशक होगा।
विकास, विरासत और सांस्कृतिक संरक्षण के मजबूत संकल्प के साथ डबल इंजन की सरकार ने उत्तराखंड को प्रगति की न सिर्फ नई पहचान दी है, बल्कि तय किया है युवा सोच, आधुनिक परिवेश, नवाचार और अनंत उपलब्धियों का सफर। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के मार्गदर्शन और मुख्यमंत्री पुष्कर सिंह धामी के कुशल नेतृत्व में सरकार ने उन संभावनाओं पर जोर दिया है जो सुखद भविष्य की नींव तैयार कर रही है। उत्तराखंड में दूरस्थ पहाड़ के सुदूर गांव भी पीएम मोदी के डिजिटल इंडिया अभियान का हिस्सा बन रहे हैं। डिजिटल क्रांति के इस सफर में अपनी सरकार पोर्टल द्वारा रिकॉर्ड 976 डिजिटल सेवाओं का घर बैठे लाभ दिया जा रहा है। युवाओं के खिलते हुए चेहरे सरकार की कार्यकुशलता का प्रमाण दे रहे हैं। प्रदेश में पारदर्शी तरीके से युवाओं को रिकॉर्ड 33,000 से ज्यादा सरकारी नौकरियां प्रदान की गई हैं। सड़कें अब विकास और प्रगति की गाथा लिख रही है। 12,000 करोड़ से अधिक लागत से निर्मित एक्सप्रेसवे परियोजना से दिल्ली से देहरादून की दूरी मात्र 2.5 घंटे की रह गई है। चार धाम यात्रा को सुगम बनाने के लिए 11,700 करोड़ से अधिक ऑल वेदर रोड का कार्य 92% से ज्यादा पूर्ण हो चुका है। भारतमाला परियोजना के तहत टनकपुर से पिथौरागढ़ NH 125 का निर्माण कार्य पूरा हो चुका है। ऋषिकेश कर्णप्रयाग रेलवे लाइन निर्माण का कार्य 70% से ज्यादा पूरा हो गया है। डबल इंजन सरकार के अथक प्रयास से संवर रहा है उत्तराखंड, आगे बढ़ रहा है उत्तराखंड।
सुकून पाने लोग घूमने जाते हैं और जब ये घूमना उनके लिए आसान हो जाए तो मनोरंजन दोगुना हो जाता है। देश में बेहतर पर्यटन सेवाओं से अर्थव्यवस्था को मजबूत करने की पहल की है प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने। पर्यटन से अर्थव्यवस्था सुदृढ़ हो और रोजगार सृजित हो सके, इसके लिए मध्य प्रदेश में मुख्यमंत्री डॉक्टर मोहन यादव ने शुरुआत की पीएम श्री हेली पर्यटन सेवा।
एविएशन के माध्यम से मध्य प्रदेश को देश के नक्शे पर लाते हुए दुनिया के सामने मध्य प्रदेश का मॉडल आदर्श बन रहा है।
इस नई सेवा से अब श्रद्धालु एक ही दिन में कर सकेंगे दोनों ज्योतिर्लिंगों के दर्शन।
हमने काफी कम टाइम में 2 ज्योतिर्लिंग कवर कर लीजिए, जो कि बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस रहा।
3 सेक्टर्स में उपलब्ध इस सेवा से इंदौर से उज्जैन ओमकारेश्वर, भोपाल से चंदेरी ओरछा और जबलपुर से बांधवगढ़ कान्हा, चित्रकूट मैहर तक की उड़ान भरी जा सकती है। इस हेलीकॉप्टर सेवा की बुकिंग ऑनलाइन की जा सकती है।
भारत अपने अनूठे पर्यावरण, परिवेश और वन्य जीव संरक्षण पहलों के कारण वैश्विक स्तर पर वाइल्ड लाइफ मॉडल के रूप में पहचान रखता है। वन्य जीव संरक्षण, जल प्रबंधन और पर्यटन विकास को विश्व में यह अद्वितीय पहचान दिलाई है। प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने मध्य प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री डॉक्टर मोहन यादव के अतुलनीय योगदान से प्रदेश में चीतों और घड़ियालों की संख्या में बढ़ोतरी हुई और मध्य प्रदेश टाइगर स्टेट के साथ चीता स्टेट भी बना। वन्य जीव संरक्षण के साथ पर्यटन क्षेत्र में विस्तार से स्थानीय रोजगार को भी नई गति मिली है।
चीता स्टेट बनने के लिए हमारे इस मध्य प्रदेश को गौरव मिला। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को धन्यवाद।
चीता प्रोजेक्ट आने की वजह से यहाँ का एरिया का बहुत अच्छा डेवलपमेंट हुआ है और यहाँ के युवाओं को रोजगार मिला। कूनो नेशनल पार्क में चीते और माधव टाइगर रिजर्व में टाइगर आने से क्षेत्र का विकास हुआ है और यहाँ पर्यटन बढ़ा है। हम जैसे युवाओं को यहाँ रोजगार मिला है।
पर्यावरण बचाने और वन्य जीव संरक्षण के लिए मध्य प्रदेश निरंतर अग्रसर है। भारत
Hold. Hold.
Confused? What to buy? What to sell? What to hold? Ask Profit with Mahima and Puneet. Monday to Friday, 10:30 a.m. Only on NDTV Profit.
Buy now, sell immediately. Hold it, boss. Buy now, sell. Hold, buy. Sell immediately.
Confused? What to buy? What to sell? What to hold? Ask Profit with Mahima and Puneet. Monday to Friday, 10:30 a.m. Only on NDTV Profit.
At NDTV Profit, every day is a new day, buzzing with news, information, analysis. A lot of it. That is why we separate the news that is urgent and important for you from what is not. News that influences outcomes across markets, policy, and the corridors of power. At 6 p.m., we turn our attention to the critical conversations that matter. I'm Vikram Oza, bringing you the big question, Monday to Thursday at 6 p.m.
Your first move sets the day, and in markets, being early is the edge. The edge begins the night before.
Before India wakes up, the newsroom is already buzzing because the market rewards those who are prepared.
That's where we come in, tracking momentum and where the markets could move next.
I decode the global pulse, shaping the market mood.
I bring insights that help you make decisions that matter.
Insight by insight, call by call. That's how we give you a head start to the day's trade.
So get ready with us every morning before the opening bell on India Market Open.
They say morning shows the day. Markets often have other plans. By midday, the story can be very different. That's when the right insights helps you rethink the day. Trades, trends, the moves that matter. Join me, Nisha Poddar, for Markets at 12, your edge for every move.